Howdy, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls. Welcome back to another episode of Boulder Talk Radio. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo, and it's been an interesting weekend to say the absolute very least. I don't know about you guys, but I've been spending an inordinate amount of time watching a whole bunch of just socially inept chuckle fucks waddle their way through the southwestern portion of the United States. Everyone a live streamer and everyone looking for quality content. And to be fair, last night at approximately 1 o'clock in the morning to around 2 o'clock in the morning, it was definitely interesting watching the content that took place at a gas station because multiple somebodies decided that it would be funny to do a $10 media play through a Bluetooth speaker of Keemstar repeatedly yelling the N-word over and over and over and over again. Now, those guys are live right now. And it's possible at this moment in time that they might have blinded a friend of theirs because while he was apparently drunk and blacked out, they thought it would be funny to dye his hair purple, and some of it looks like it might have gotten into his eye. The question then becomes, is this real? Is this fake? Is this made up? We don't know. We don't know at all. But it's interesting to see nonetheless because this is the kind of content that, for one, I personally, just me personally, would never do. All right. I would never do it like this, mostly because I just, I don't have it in me to put a Bluetooth speaker on my backpack and let people call in and just play whatever they want. I'd be far too embarrassed far too often, which I know the cringe factor is why it works. But I guess, you know what, if you ever see me doing it, it's probably because I'm 100% broke. And at that point, I'm like 2 steps away from just outright sucking dick for money. I think that's where I would probably be. Although sitting from the sidelines and watching it play out the way that it's playing out is entertaining enough. And if you haven't checked that out, just look up Baked Alaska. I think it's like ip2always.win is the website. It's exercise in watching people act completely idiotic. Well, other people pay them money to make their in real life experience all the more worse. It is simply terrible. It's terrible. That being said, let's see here. Garrick asks, are you officially done working with the census? I am. Wrapped up last Thursday, I believe. And I'm okay with it being over. I had fun with it. The money was really good, but I'm okay with not feeling like I'm going to be shot every time I walk onto somebody else's property. So at least now when I go and I enter someone else's property, I'm bringing food and they're happy to see me. In fact, I've been back on the food delivery gamut for the last couple of days, and it's the money's still good. The money is still pretty good. I can't complain. So thank you very much for asking on that one. Let's see here. Grab Your Crotch says, Blade asked some chick if she had ever been raped. That was messed up. I did see that. Yeah. I did see that. Blade was accused last year, I believe, of assaulting a woman. And they pressured him on it yesterday, and I caught a bit of that exchange. And the exchange was basically them going like, did you masturbate before she got in the bed? And he's like, yeah, I had a little bit of private time. I took care of myself. And they're like, okay, so that's why we found your cum on the sheets. And he goes, yeah, I already told you. I had a little bit of private time. I did it. That's why my cum was on the sheets. Like, but you didn't touch her? He's like, no, I didn't touch her. I jerked off before she got into bed. I mean, like, that is the content that these guys are putting out there. But then Blade tonight asks some chick that they picked up, I think in Albuquerque, that's with them at this RV park. You ever been raped? She's all like, no. And he's all like, you want to? Like, I saw the clip floating around on Twitter while I was playing video games before the stream. And I was just blown away. This is a guy who's been accused of sexual assault. And him denying it, vehemently denying it. No, I nutted before she got into bed. That's why my cum crusties were on the sheet. Denying it. And then drunkenly asking a woman if she would like to be raped. I don't know about you. I'm starting to think there might be a little bit of something there might be a little bit of a something there. You know what I mean? If that's going to be his MO because he's drunk and he's inhibited in the moment, it's definitely a crazy situation. So there, so there's that. Hondo says here, Matt, on that RV trip would be amazing. It would be him playing dad to a bunch of retards trying to keep them out of trouble. Dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. That's exactly what it would be, Hondo. That's exactly what would happen. If I was on that trip with them, I would probably be the one driving. I would probably not drink, not do anything. And I'd be, okay, you guys, can you calm down on all the N-word? Okay, can you calm down on the Keemstars? Okay, you guys, can you calm down? That's what I would do. Because that's just the person that I am. What do I think of James O'Keefe? I was bitching about him on Twitter. O'Keefe is the worst kind of scumfuck that exists, in my opinion. The kind that was absolutely propped up by Fox News, propped up by Andrew Breitbart. The difference, though, is since Breitbart died, James O'Keefe has been kind of off the collar, if you will. He's been allowed to operate with impunity and in his own world, and there's no one to rein him in, except he comes out at quote unquote opportune times with these particular types of exposés that are generally BS. And lots of lies, lots of deceptive editing. He's known for that. It's very true what he's known for. But for some reason, because it's going after the left, usually a lot of conservatives tend to look the other way. They tend to look the absolute other way. And they go, well, it's a lot of, it's a lot of that kind of crap. I hate the guy. Because he's a liar and he's a faker and he has no problem destroying people's lives for his ideology. And I don't like that one bit. I didn't like it when the left does it. I don't like it when the right does it. But unfortunately, in this particular section of the internet space of YouTube, you're going to find a lot more people who are going to be maybe a bit more forgiving of the antics of O'Keefe and Project Veritas because they are going after the left. But hey, like any organization that has been known to lie, everything they put out should be looked at with a grain of salt. And people will go, oh, but what about you, Matt? You lied. Yes, I did. And so when it comes to, you can always take what I say with a grain of salt, and you should take what I say with a grain of salt. Fine. I'm not going to sit there and argue otherwise. But that should be consistent across the board. And that's not what happens in this particular regard. I'm just not a fan of the guy. Let's see. Kevin the Collector here asks, what's up, Matt? What are your thoughts on the movie theaters outside New York being open again? That's good, provided that they're taking the proper precautions. My local theater is open. I had to go to the mall to pick up an order the other night, and I walked past it, and I could smell the movie theater popcorn for the first time since February. And I just wanted to go in and see a movie, and I've been thinking about it the last couple of days too. I've been really thinking about it. So I might go and check that one out. All right. Let's see. If I was on that RV trip, Matt would be dropping hard R's and Mason dudes. No, I wouldn't. Not at all. Okay. Let's see here. James not showing videos that I like. No, James is lying in deceptively edited content. That's what it boils down to. Anyway. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So am I doing phone calls? No, we're doing call-ins though. Links in the description. In this day and age, Garrick says it pays to go after the left. It very much does. So Kevin here asks, what do you think of the controversy on Five Finger Death Punch? I don't know what the controversy on that one is. I saw something about it, but I didn't look into it at all. So my bad. Is the New York Post a Russian ploy? Look, man, the whole Hunter Biden thing, and I see Hondo and Biohazard. I'll get to those guys here in a sec. The whole Hunter Biden thing is really fascinating because, if you look at the details of it, like the fact that the FBI right now is looking at it as a more or less a Russian op, then it kind of tells you all you need to know. Where I think the information that they provided is accurate. I think it's pretty accurate. I'm not saying that it's a hoax, like that, whatever. But what I'm saying is the circumstances of it coming to light, and when you find out about all the little details here and there, none of it adds up. It just doesn't add up. And, it's just funny how some people have come out to really defend it and everything. All right. So let's get into Hondo. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Dude. Okay, did you see the clip where they let that chick onto the RV, like in Baked Alaska's little RV stream?
Oh, you're talking. Okay, so you're talking about the RV6,
Yeah,
RV6 stream.
RV6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm in a Discord group where a couple of those guys have been watching it like nonstop and posting updates as something interesting happens. So I've been catching the updates. I know that there's a guy dressed as Duffman. I don't know why, but there is somewhere on board. And then you've got the girl Mia, I believe her name is, right?
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 hours ago, they let some chick that they just found in some like RV parking lot or some shit onto the RV just for a little bit. I don't know if it's that one they're talking about, dude, but I just saw this clip from like 3 or 4 hours ago. They brought a fucking like possibly underage. I don't know if she is. I doubt it. Onto the RV, like a straight up prostitute.
I know there's a girl on there. I was just I was just checking it out before going live. And I know that there's a girl on there. So I don't necessarily know
Was
if
she
that
wearing a
is
black dress?
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the one I'm thinking of, or that we're thinking of. But so check it out. Here's her whole story. They see a chick walking around alone at night, dressed in skimpy clothing, and Baked and Casey go out there, talk to her, and bring her back on the RV, right?
Yeah.
Now, according to Baked and Casey, her first interaction was just, her asking for meth, supposedly, right? And wow,
Cuz
yeah, of
wait,
course, of course,
her first sorry. What? Her
yeah.
first interaction was with them was like, "Hey yo, y'all got some of that meth?"
Supposedly, according to Baked and Casey, I'm learning this from Grim Cheers. I don't know if he's watching right now.
Oh my god. Is there like a Twitter video I can quickly download and throw up there of this? Because I know those clips are making their way around. Let me take a look here.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Okay, just DM it to me in the side.
All right.
Yeah, private chat it to me. So, okay, because I see Grimm's in the back right now. All right, cool. Let me.
Yeah, this was his clip. He was the guy that just found it right now.
All right, it's a 20 fucking 6 minute long
Yeah,
video.
you don't have to. You don't have to. But if you want to bring him in here with me too, we can do like a three-way call. Just to get it out
Yeah.
there.
I see Grim in the back right now. I'll bring him in. Hey, what's going on, Grim?
Hey Matt, how's it going, brother?
I'm trying to understand this whole situation as it's unfolding before us. This massive IRL shitstorm. So what exactly were you able to find out?
All right, so just from the first interaction with this woman, she basically walks up, seemingly comes out of nowhere with Baked, and her first interaction is, "Hey, can you guys get any meth?"
So is that? I mean, I hate to make the horrible joke here, but is that why Blade? There's that clip of Blade asking her like if she wants to be assaulted.
Oh Jesus Christ,
Dude, I mean, this has been a whole fucking shit show. Like, I can't believe what I've been witnessing for the past 2 days. Probably at least 15 felonies and 30 misdemeanors. I mean, these motherfuckers. Dude, I can't, like, and really, okay, Matt, I know you're not really like on the, right wing side of politics or anything, but just put yourself in like a right winger's place for a second. So there's these absolute fucking morons going across the country, just causing havoc everywhere they go with a big old MAGA Trump 2020
Yeah,
sticker.
I saw that they drilled the flag into the side of the RV.
Yeah.
yeah, great optics, peak optics, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't they go to and then they went to a polling station, right? And they were like told to leave because like they should have put like the paraphernalia on the side of the van or whatever.
Yep. Oh, and then I mean, shit. And then you get on later. Okay, so they're later on. They're on the RV or whatever, and so they start giving this girl alcohol. They don't ask her age or anything. They just start giving it to her. Then the TTS starts going like, ask her her age, all this stuff like that, and she goes, "Well, I'm 20," and then she pauses. There's like a pause for 3 seconds, and then she says, "1." So literally, they're feeding gallons of alcohol to this minor, and I mean, and it's all on camera. Then they say, "Well, show us your ID." She says, "I don't have an ID."
Oh, great.
But she has an
Right.
Instagram, and they pull up the
But she,
Instagram, and then I think it said on there that she was 20, but I don't know if
yeah,
we can even believe that.
yeah.
Oh, well, she looks young. She looked
Yeah.
young from the video clip I saw.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, I don't think she's 21. I mean, maybe she might be 19, 20, somewhere around that area, but still, this is so fucked up. And I don't see how, like, these dudes have to glow in the dark with as many crimes as they've been committing and no one's gone to jail. Like,
None of them. Fucking Baked maced another person. I don't know if you
yeah,
saw that.
I did see that, but to be fair though, that guy made a move at Baked. It would have been self defense, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. But he
Yeah.
goes around and your fucking speakers playing the N word. You can't expect to not get your ass beat. And I think Baked knows that. That's why he's carrying mace with him everywhere.
yeah.
Oh
And what's
yeah. Well, he
fucked up
knows
about it-
like if he could carry a gun legally, he probably would.
Yeah, he
You
would.
know, that's my take on that one. But yeah, I watched because I was watching last night live when everything went down. I was in bed and I had the stream on as I was playing Ghost of Tsushima. And then I was up way later than I should have been because I thought, I'm like, oh my God. And then that one guy, Dope District, like got into a fight with
Yeah.
three of the women. Like the woman's like
Dude.
pound on the door, and then Baked like opens the door for, like the other guy to go out there, like the little black guy to go out there and fight him.
Capo, dude. What a little bitch capo, man. Like fucking
Oh.
Baked had to go and get his little black capo, right, to fight these three dykes. Well, they're not dykes, I don't think they are, but
I don't think that they were lesbian. No.
Yeah, I know, but that was PO's joke. Right, so he has to wake this guy up who's sleeping just to get him to fight his battle against three chicks.
I saw that. Like,
What a
imagine
fucking
the guy's
pussy,
asleep.
dude.
He's just passed out. He's passed out on the couch, and then all of a sudden, Bait comes in like, "Yo, dude, wake up! We got this problem." And then like he just goes out there and just gets into a fight, pushes the one woman. She tries to knock him down. They get into this big thing, and then the other the other one piles on, and then the third one piles on. While Bait is just filming the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, did you watch them in the churches? Did you see them in the Church of Chicken?
No, I did not.
Okay, this was bad. So they go into Church's Chicken, and what do you think Baked does? He has the black dude order a whole meal of chicken. Now they go to sit down, and I mean they have TTS on. Like every racist thing you could think in the book is fucking playing, right? I mean, and Baked is sitting there. He's asking this black man, "How does that chicken taste? Like, how does that chicken taste?" If he would have said, "Boy, like, how's that chicken taste, boy?" Holy shit! Like, he probably did it about 60, 70 times.
You like
They're-
that chicken, boy?
Yeah, pretty much, right? And then they're leaving the restaurant. And when they're leaving, well, or I think they get kicked out is what it was. And as they're getting kicked out, the black dude, like, and I hate to say this, but he literally chimps out. I mean, he starts jumping up and down, banging on the windows. Like, this is insane, Matt. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore.
So here's my take on it, right? Here's my because it's really boring in the daytime. Nothing happens. What do? They go out and they hang out in a gas station or a Walmart parking lot or something like that. They go and they drink and they get money for food. And then as the nighttime rolls in, they start looking for they start like nocturnally waking up. So then they start going out and seeking things out to do. And then it's like that's when it gets the most active. So it's
nighttime,
just
time to be an asshole.
Yeah, what I don't understand. Well, actually I kind of do.
I know why.
Is no. So it's like they were in Vegas and then they went to Arizona and they were going to go to Flagstaff to go pick up Sammy. Sammy being that mentally challenged young woman that Bake was leading on last week. And because that was obviously content, right? Like Baked realized, I think at first, because in the first 24 hours, two guys already were off the trip. Like they left one guy at a vape station. They left him. Man. They left Chaggett there, whatever his name is.
Dude, they didn't tell him where his fucking car was, I think.
Yeah, they just left him, and so they left him in another state.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like in another state, they left him out there, and then but even he had called up Baked a little bit ago. They were talking to him, and Baked's like, "Oh, I wish you were here, man." You guys,
and they're all on drugs. I mean,
all of them.
They have to be like the way Baked was acting like yesterday. I mean, and his eyes, like the dude was on coke. Obviously, he was on cocaine. I mean, maybe meth, but I would lean more towards coke.
Yeah,
And
I'm thinking coke too. Like that's not meth, because meth, you get meth mania, right? That's when you start having delusions and shit. And
yeah,
Bake was doing that on camera. Like you'd be able to tell, because like I know I work in an ER, I can see that, right? Now to me, I
yeah,
think it's all coke and pills. That's what they're all on, like Andy Warski.
yeah. Well, they're acting a lot like Andy Worski.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes me really wonder. Like, I mean, okay, so they decided that they were going to, they're doing this 3 week road trip, right? They're doing this 3 week road trip where they're going to go to Nashville for the Trump rally. Or for the debates, I think is what they want to go next week, and they wanted to, drive around. And that's again, it's like, it's going to end in disaster. Let's be fair. One of them is probably going to die, but they missed out on a pretty big opportunity because Trump held a rally in Tucson tonight, and they
Oh shit.
overshot it. They overshot it, and they went to Albuquerque instead.
Yeah.
For the
Well,
better, dude. For the better, man. I do not want
For
these
the
guys
better.
ruining my fucking Trump's campaign, dude.
Well, that's the thing,
right.
is that they're all out there with like pro Trump 2020 shirts and the flag. I mean, like they would have fit
And
right in there, and it would have been interesting content because what you
I
would.
wait. Hold up. Do you think they would have fit in there? 'Cause
Yeah, I think they would. I really do think they would, because what it would be but it would be a different kind of fitting in. It would be like-minded individuals. It's like I could imagine them all grabbing like tiki torches and like handing them out to
no.
people while they were there.
Jesus fucking Christ, you're right, Matt. Oh my
I'm
god.
I'm totally right. They'd go, let's go to Walmart, get tiki torches.
Fucking oh my god.
Like, no, you're right. You're right. Like, and that's what makes me think this is even more subversive. Like, this seems like
It
something
feels like an
that
op, right? Right, Graham?
yeah, this seems like something someone paid for to make the right wingers look bad.
Maybe
Well,
Bake doesn't know it, but I think someone's telling Bake, hey buddy, fucking put the giant MAGA flag on the back of your van.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I just like, look. I get your guys' theories on this, but I really do think that it is just a bunch of opportunistic people that are trying to, at this point, take hold of where we find ourselves in regard to political discourse, and they're going out and they're going to follow whatever is going to work. Like Carl is pissing everybody off, which is now being, there's the rumor that it's all scripted. There's a rumor that everything is scripted.
Right.
And people are really kind of looking at it now from that perspective. What's fascinating to me is certain places like aren't talking about it as much as you think they would. So what I mean by that is it's on Twitter. People are talking about it on Twitter. Some clips are making their way around, but it's very difficult to like follow the thread. On Kiwi Farms, you figured the Kiwi Farms page for Baked Alaska would be blowing the fuck up right now. It's moved 2 pages.
No fuck.
I'm serious. It's like 2 to 3 pages, I think. It hasn't gone up. Like Ralph does a show and it will go up like 8 pages by the end of the show.
Yeah.
But this is actual IRL quote unquote content where there's tons of clips, tons of things to discuss, tons of shit to laugh at, and it's like not moving at all. So I mean, maybe there's something going on. I have no idea. I don't think so, but it's very weird in how the whole situation's playing out.
Dude, all I know is that chick is definitely a prostitute. Like, you can't tell me that some chick alone in the middle of the night, walking the road with no ID, dressed skimpy, is just willing to come back with you into your RV, right? And then supposedly ask for meth. There is no fucking way she's not a prostitute.
Well, did you not listen to the show the other day when my old friend called in and we told the story about meeting that one 44-year-old woman on Valentine's Day, and she went back and got spit roasted by them at their mobile home? Yeah, so I mean, I'm just saying. Well, I mean, this girl's young, but
like old chicks have like no inhibitions left. They're like, fuck it.
I'm just saying. Like, this. Look, it's Monday night. They're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yeah, this girl's like, hey, y'all got any meth? All right. Like, I've had situations like that. There was this. There's a place I worked at, the theater. I worked at the theater. There's a girl who worked there named Luann. Luann was homeless. And one night, she was homeless, but one night we're talking as I'm getting ready to leave, and she's like, "So what you doing tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, my parents are out of town, so I'm just going to go home and play video games." Cause I was like, I just wanted to chill out and play video games. And she's like, "Oh, you want some company?" And I'm all, "No." Because she's not like, she was, she had a couple of addiction issues very nice person, couple addiction issues. Found out like a week later, she's like, if you would have said yes, I would have raped the hell out of you that night. I'm just like, and I am so glad I went home and played Sid Meier's Pirates. I'm very happy with my decision in life. So, you know, you'll meet these kind of people. You'll meet these kind of men, these kind of women that quite literally just don't care.
Well, and here's what I was trying to explain. I'm from New Mexico. I don't live in Albuquerque, but I go up there quite often. I know exactly where they are. I know exactly where they picked that fucking woman up on Lomas Street. It is nothing but whores as far as the eye can see. And they're not pretty whores.
They're Albuquerque whores.
They're Albuquerque whores. Yes, okay. That is exactly what I'm saying.
I don't know. I've never been to Albuquerque, so I'm just going to take your word on it. But I could only imagine it's as dry as the weather, if you catch my meaning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyways, Matt, before you kick me, I kind of have a bone to pick with you, buddy.
Yes. Yes, let's do it. Let's fight.
So on Twitter the other day, I saw you shit-talking YouTube premieres saying they're not a good idea. Can you please elaborate?
Yeah, if you do long form and short form content, generally speaking, it's bad for the channel anyway. YouTube pretty much only prioritizes watch time at this point. And in my experience and a lot of other like full-time, like I don't say full-time, but just creators' experiences, premieres tend to draw maybe a bit of people while it's going, if you can get it right there. But at the same time, it will then drop off faster in regards to being watched. And now, if you're doing like drama content, I think it's a different beast.
Okay, that might be fair because I do a lot of clips and I premiere all my
clips because I think what was it when I had Bookie on here, we had I think at the height about 660 people watching, right? And so then T-Clips took it and she clipped out like 45 minutes or somewhere in there, and she put it up as a premiere on her channel, which I am completely fine with. I've made that policy abundantly clear. Boulder Talk is up for clipping. I don't care. That's how I view it.
Yeah.
And so then the next morning I was listening to it, and there was like about nearly 400 people in there watching, and that was at around like, I think 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So it can work out if you're doing drama content. If it's stuff that people are actively engaged in, then that would make a lot of sense. But in regards to like just doing standard video content, that's whatever, it's not really worth it.
Right. And, and I get that to a degree. The reason I like doing premieres is because damn near every chat room I go to, I get banned. And that's fucking horseshit. I'll let anyone talk whatever shit they want. I won't ban anyone. Banning is for straight up F slurs. I'm not going to get your chat banned, whatever. I'm trying to be nice here, Matt.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
But it's, to me, premieres are actually a way to get some people that wouldn't normally have a way to speak, to let their opinion be heard. Because I love the chat. I love listening to the chat. The chat is always fucking right. And that's not just a meme. That's very true. Whenever you have a good majority of people in there, you have a different set of opinions. You have different points of view, and then whatever the best point of view is will come through. Because I do think people are smarter than some people give them credit for. And I mean, a lot of people in this area of the internet do tend to think a little more critically. And so that's what I mean. I just like having that chat there. I don't give a fuck about monetization. I don't give a fuck about numbers. That's not for me. I do this for fun.
Yeah. I'm saying people that I know that do it for their job have a lot of issue with it. And that mostly has a lot to do with how YouTube in and of itself handles everything. The system is so fundamentally broken at this point that so many people are just being screwed constantly by the platform because it can't figure out how to properly showcase the content and recommend the content.
Oh yeah, I mean, Nassim was 100% right.
I'm sorry, who?
Nassim.
Oh yeah, she wasn't right.
I'm not talking about her actions. What I'm talking about is what led to her actions. I don't know if you ever saw the video. She was talking about how the YouTube algorithm worked.
Yeah, no, I did. Because if you recall, I was actually like, when people didn't know that it was her, they were trying to say that I did it. My picture circulated around with saying that I was a shooter.
Yeah, I could see it.
I was sitting at home. Because it was Sam Hyde and it was me. And then the picture of me ended up, like, BuzzFeed came out and defended me at one point. I think like I was in like RT.com. I was interviewed by the LA Times. A few other people interviewed me over it. It was pretty funny. And yeah, I mean, they, like the shit gets around, but no, the algorithm, I've gone and I've talked to YouTube. I've gone to their headquarters in LA. I've gone to different events and spoken with actual engineers. They don't know their head from their ass. The fact that there's even like 50 people here right now, like I'm surprised that there's that many, given how everything works.
Dude, people need to keep doing that too, though. Like where they say you're the shooter of whatever fucking event happened. Like, no, dude, look. It worked for Sam Hyde. That's how he got like super famous, right? Because like, people kept fucking with him that way. So I think that actually helped you out.
When that tweet came out, I was sitting at home playing Kingdom Come Deliverance because my daughter was asleep, and I'm like, I got a couple hours, and I look at my phone, and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. And then there was like a Paris shooting like 2 weeks later, and they tried doing it again, and it was so dumb. They've caught on now that I'm not the killer. They're like, okay, is this that fat fuck? All right, he's not. Yeah, he lives in Washington. He's not in Paris.
That's funny.
Sorry, I am not a fucking furry. I have to fucking say this because your chat's fucking roasting me. No, I'm not a fucking fur fag. Oh, sorry.
So wait, why are they calling you a furry?
Cause I tried to be friends with PO.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how that makes
Discord.
Well, speaking of PO, we actually got PO right back here.
Hey
guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you, Axel.
Your capitals
Okay, guys.
Orders.
I have a message to one of the users in the chat right now called Nintendo Girl, aka Singed Halo. If you will just give me a moment, guys. Nintendo Girl, we've been through thick and thin, baby. I've seen you in the chat. We've played a little bit of Animal Crossing. And I must say, from the moment I saw you, I knew it was true love, baby. Every day I saw you in the live chat, I've kissed you. Remember that? And I'm just here to say, Nintendo Girl, will you marry me? I love you, baby. It's you and me now. We're taking over the YouTube scene, baby. We're gonna do this. But if you say no, I'll mute you. If you say no, I'll mute you. I'll permanently mute you, and you're kicked out of my chat. You're muted. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Whatever.
What the hell was that?
Beautiful.
That was there. Okay. And there he goes. All right, there he goes. Right. Okay then.
We should clear out and let the other guys come on because you got like a whole list of guys in here. So
Yeah.
I got a few people in here. Yeah. So all right, everyone. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah.
talk to you later, homies.
All right.
Yo, subscribe to Grim Cheers.
Yeah, do that too.
Okay, that was I'm not too sure exactly what the fuck just happened, but okay. Well, hey, the PO putting out that marriage proposal, wholesome family content here on Boulder Talk Radio. All right, let's move into Biohazard Fallout, man. You've been waiting a while. How's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you, Matt?
You know what? I'm hanging in there. All right, as I do every day, I guess. I don't know.
I'll just mention why I think premieres work for certain channels and certain content is take Count Dankula for example. He does like the Mad Lad series.
Oh yeah,
I find that fantastic. I think it's great. I would recommend it to everyone.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, I've watched a few episodes of it. I've thought about. I've actually spoken with him about how he does it because I thought about doing it myself.
Maybe you could do one about like serial killers or like crime scene stuff.
That shit gets done. Like that shit gets overplayed though. Like there's, now there's like
I think there's a thirsty amount of people that like true crime.
Yeah. Oh no, there are. Trust
me. There's like a Jim Can't Swim imitator now.
Yeah,
like,
there's all, and it's a bunch of women.
He's got like 200,000 followers, and he's like a new channel. So I mean, like, there's definitely a market for that. I don't think there's enough. Like, it's like crime scene analysis, that kind of thing, done in depth with like interesting cases. But so, for example, with like Count Dankula, like he'll run his premiere, and here's the magic part about it is you can collect super chats for a video, basically, right? When you premiere it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
Well, and
there's
they're
like
supposed to be
double income.
trying. You're supposed to be also trying the ability to put super chats in posted videos. Like if you wanted to tip or donate to the content creator,
They should do that.
They should. They've talked
There's
about
no
it for a
reason not
while.
to do that, because like
Yeah,
I wouldn't probably do that. I wouldn't probably donate to that, but there's definitely people with more money than they need that would be like, oh, I really like this video. Here's $5, right? Like, and it'll just help out the creator, because YouTube's being really shitty with the advertisements, right? Like certain content, they're just not going to monetize.
Oh yeah, I mean, like it's insane. Like most of the Boulder Talk radios actually are approved for ads, and even though they do get watched after the fact, I don't make any. Those like the ads are all shit. You know, the ads are all fucking terrible because right now a lot of it's political ads, which makes a lot of sense if you're talking about political content. But over on $3 Theater, where it's like, okay, movies aren't happening right now, so it's a lot of like nothing. It's like really like low rent ads, and that's what's hurting a lot of people. So I think the live stream stuff is going to be beneficial. I mean, I have thought about doing because I do the milk carton mysteries, which I'm a little bit behind right now. I got distracted, and that's on another channel, and people seem to like that. And I have that also as a podcast, because I honestly looking at this is just my own thing. If you guys can do podcasting, you can there's probably greater earning potential with podcasting than there is with YouTube, bar none. Just because it has more of a dedicated audience. And so I just want to say anchor.fm/Boulder Talk Radio. If you guys, if you are catching this and you don't want to listen to it on YouTube, you want to catch up to an episode, go over there. It's up there.
Yeah, well, it's obvious podcasts are like the thing that's kind of trending right now, because everyone's doing it. Everyone that used to just do regular video content is starting to shift towards podcasts. So that's where the money's at, obviously.
Well, it's not only that, it's also the ability to consistently create content that's long form that raises your watch time. And when it raises the watch time, so I'll give you a prime example. So on this channel specifically, I was always doing 3 videos a day of like regular news stories, and then at my height, it was doing really well. I'd get like 60,000 views a day, which is some pretty decent cash, to be fair. And then when everything happened 2 years ago, I had a watch time of 4 minutes and 55 seconds. And then people started doing the mass dislikes on the video. We're talking like upwards of like 7,000 people, for a while. And that just knocked everything down to 1 minute, 37 seconds. So that basically deranked my entire fucking channel for the most part. And it's one of those extreme cases. And so people who were subbed to me, who maybe didn't see me in a while, they just stopped seeing me completely. And so now that I've been doing the long form 2-hour podcast and people have been watching it more, the watch time's getting higher. I'm now getting comments from people that are going like, holy shit, like I forgot that I was subbed to you. I haven't seen you in 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit on YouTube's part. I remember why this started happening. It was people would subscribe. So like, I don't know, there's probably like some insane people that watch just constant YouTube, right? And they probably follow like several hundred channels, maybe more.
Yeah.
And what would happen is like if a creator started kind of like falling off the cliff, like when it came to views or whatever, YouTube would stop showing them in their subscription box, like the video.
Well,
and
that's
they
very
might,
true,
yeah, like they might like upload a video, but you won't see it. It won't be visible. And they definitely blacklist, because like I'm following the RV streams, like I'm following the whole Baked Alaska and the RV, because I usually follow those because there's usually some fucked up things that happen. Although I think a reasonable percentage of it is scripted. I don't think that it's all 100%. But when they go out into like public and shit, and like here's Bake's go-to is he goes to a store where there's like a mask policy, right? And it's not the fucking workers' problem, right? Like they're just enforcing their company's policy. He goes in there without a mask. They tell him to leave, and then that initiates like a fucking problem, And then he starts like mouthing off and harassing these fucking workers that are probably making close to minimum wage, which is fucking bullshit. And there's always like that, like hero or tough guy that calls them out and says like, "Oh, you guys are being dicks," right? And then that initiates the confrontation where the bear mace comes out and he fucking sprays them, right? And that's pretty much what they've been doing, is just like trying to pick fights. And the only reason why they're picking fights is because they got this fucking ace up their sleeve, the bear mace. It's like, oh, you want to fuck with me? Psh, you know? So, I mean, like, they're gonna get fucked eventually. So, like, I hope they keep doing it, because it's gonna be fucking hilarious when one of them goes to jail.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are going to laugh their ass off when one of them goes to jail, and then what they're going to do is they're going to raise money for the bail. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
They're
it's all a fucking, like, they know what they're doing. They're not stupid, right? Like, the whole RV thing, the whole IP2 community, which is Ice Poseidon, like, he kind of started this IRL kind of scene, right? Where you basically just be a dick in public and try to bait reactions from just random civilians. It's all about creating what they call content, but really what they're doing is they're just like terrorizing a fucking small area. Like, it could be a small town, it could be in a big city, and they'll show up and they'll just agitate, right? And of course, like, people are, you know, gonna fucking say, hey man, like, don't disrespect me. They're never gonna go to places like Compton and pull this shit, because they're gonna, like, they just go to like regular areas where, like, you have like city dwelling people, and, you know, like, they're pretty much cowards is basically it.
that is quite a fair amount of the content is just going out there and being dicks. But there's a certain group of people out there that really like it and they get off on it, you know?
Oh yeah, no, like, I watch it, it's entertaining, but at the same time, like, I'm thinking of, like, what if I was that guy that they're harassing, right? Like, what would I do? And you know, not expecting to get fucking maced in the face, right? Like,
because what if that guy would have gone at them, but that guy, because that guy who baked maced, he came at him with his fists up, you know? So it's like,
I agree. I agree that was kind of like, that was fair play. But the problem is the how much it's happening, like how frequently that situation's going down. It's basically it's Baked that's kind of creating these scenarios, right? Like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he absolutely knows what he's doing. They all know what they're doing.
So, like, if I carried like a concealed carry around and I just baited fights, like, I'm gonna go to jail eventually, right? Like, if I shoot somebody that, you know, like, because I'm creating an issue. Like, there's the Dijkstra case, right, where he was basically being like a wannabe cop, and he was carrying around a gun, and there was somebody that was parked illegally at a convenience store, and there's like plenty of parking spaces, so it didn't really matter, but he wanted to pull the heavy on the guy. So he gets out of his car, which he also parked illegally, and started causing a scene and telling them they got to fucking move their car and this and that, right? And the black guy comes out of the store and is like, why are you yelling at my wife? And pushes him. And he pulls the gun out. The black guy starts retreating and he shoots the guy. And he ended up going to jail. It's like, yeah, you don't play fucking stupid games. If you have like a gun or a weapon or something like that, you should be trying to avoid confrontation. Like, that's pretty much the goal. And that's what the courts assume that, like, well-mannered and responsible people do, is like, if I have a gun, I don't want to use it, so therefore I'm not going to look for a problem, right?
Well, that's the idea, but let's be fair. In these situations, these people, what it is okay, they're generally running on the notion that people will not, that people will not like fight back, right? Most people will just look at it as minor agitation, move on with their day. But I think even right now, given the fact that, you know, you've had the pandemic, people have been cooped up, they're sticking to the South, which is going to have fewer restrictions than places in the North. So that might help them a little bit. But if they were to come to, let's say, like Oregon
or New York or something,
New York or Washington or whatever, like, people get a little on edge and shit as a result of that. So I don't think, like, I think Baked realizes at this point that Sammy was supposed to be his content, you know, like the will they won't they fuck during this trip sort of thing. And then that whole thing fell through, so now they're desperate to kind of figure out what's going to happen next. I mean, there was a thing today with apparently they booted Carl from the RV, saying that Carl had sabotaged the router for their 24-hour cam. but then now he's back. I mean, it's
Yeah,
so
that's
much of it-
scripted. That's the
so much
scripted
of it
shit.
feels scripted,
Yeah, it's
feels faked
scripted.
and forced. Because
Or like when the guy that came and slashed their tires and that, like, come
Yeah.
on, man. Like, if that actually happened, like, there would have been a big problem. Like, they wouldn't be on script like that. Like, they would have been like, you would have seen, like, it looked like acting, like they didn't care. Whereas, like, if that happened to you on your road trip, somebody went that was from your RV, slashed their tires and fucked off. Like, you would see emotion, you would see fucking anger. Like, none of that. They were just like, oh, we'll just call the fucking repair guy. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, man.
it's so fucking phony. And but some of it's real. The real stuff is like when they go into like stores and they act tough. Right? That's the real aspect, right? When they fuck with the public. And I don't know how they're not getting arrested because they've been interacting with cops for weeks and they just seem to keep getting away.
Because well, cops. So the thing is, cops will mostly issue warnings, especially if they live out of state. So if they live out of state and they issue a ticket that has a court summons, then those guys have got to either go to court. Most of the time, they're not going to go. They're, whatever. The cops have got to schedule out the time to also go be at court.
Well, I guess when they also move around too, like it's like
yeah, it's like, oh, we're leaving. We're leaving.
well, like
And-
it's like when they move state, like when they move from state to state, right? Like it's
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't come up on the record, like, oh, this guy had like a minor
no,
violation.
the states aren't that much in communication as far as I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's not a thing.
That's how
But-
they're kind of skirting it. So they're always getting like first time warnings, even though it's like the fifth time that they did something fucked up.
Well, yeah, I don't know what they're
Like-
gonna. I'm not too sure what they're gonna ultimately end up doing.
Because like if they stayed in the same state and did like 5 things like that, like they'd probably be arrested by now.
Most
Like,
likely.
there would be like markers on his name being like, yeah, he did this, this guy's a troublemaker, like just take him in.
Yeah, and it's also possible that he might give. He's got a couple aliases too, if I recall. But real quick, Hondo here, $5 super chat, thank you, sir. Saying getting thumbs down hurts channels. It's why Ralph had dislike bots on you. P.S. Make a Streamlabs, you make more money, and donors will pay big more. Well, to be fair, I've got streamlabs.com/Matt Jarbo Talks right there in the bottom left corner. So that is there. I just that is an option. But I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Our Arcana Sarda here says, I came from the Let's Play Guitar video. Yeah, that was something I was trying to get into, like YouTube mysteries back at the beginning of the year. I like that video a lot. I hope they find that guy, but unfortunately I don't make a lot of that content anymore, but thank you for being here. All right, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna move on. I've got some more people that are in the back room. Keep this thing flowing a bit, but I do appreciate you waiting, Biohazard, and definitely call again soon.
Okay, later.
All right, later, buddy. All right, thank you very much to that. Let me just drop that link one more time to keep it moving. Okay, Animancer, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm all right. You've been drinking or smoking tonight? What's your poison?
You can already fucking tell.
No, I just figured it's late where you are, and you probably are going to be somewhat inebriated.
Yeah. I think I've always been inebriated every time I've come on here, but yeah, I'm fucking drunk.
People like it though. You had a passion last time. You had a lot of passion. You had a lot of panache. People were like, I can feel this man's rage and anger and his clear erection. His Jeffrey Toobin situation. But thank God we're off camera.
Well, get me fucking talking about the political parties, and I'll just go on for hours. I don't know if you saw the big news that people seem to be talking about on social media today, but Jeff Bridges. Did you hear about that? The dude.
Oh yeah. I did hear about Jeff Bridges getting cancer.
Yeah, that's really shitty.
That's really shitty. Yeah.
I ended up hearing that I just looked into the fucking trending Twitter fucking topics just to see like anything that I could bring up, and apparently he's not the only one who announced that he has cancer today. I don't know if he announced it, but Rush Limbaugh says his cancer's getting fucking worse.
Oh wow. I don't like Limbaugh. I mean, I clearly don't want him to die from cancer.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, I just saw this here. Rush here says that he can no longer deny that he's under a death sentence due to the progression of a stage 4 lung cancer. Stage 4?
Yeah.
Ooh. He's gonna hold on through the election. If Trump ends up getting yeeted, then I think Rush is just gonna retire.
Oh man, you think that's his fucking like?
That's got to be his anger. If he's got
Yeah.
stage 4 cancer, lung cancer.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I wouldn't wish that shit on my worst fucking enemy, if I'm being entirely honest.
No, neither would I. I don't. It's like, as much as there are people out there that I fundamentally, vehemently fucking despise, with good reason, and there are people out there who vehemently despise me, most likely with good reason. Some people, not all, but but I don't think that many of them would wish that on me, and I don't wish that on them.
Oh, certainly. I mean, the only people who wish that type of shit on people are people who've never had it happen to a family member of theirs that they care about. Like, they don't actually know the implications of what it means to go through that type of thing. Honestly, the only reason I brought this up in both cases, though, is and this is something that was kind of brought up back when Trump announced that he had fucking COVID. Do you think it's moral to be happy when bad things happen to an especially shitty person? Because
that is a very personal decision. That's a very personal choice you have to make. A lot of people would argue that it's not you. So you feeling bad, or you feeling happy that bad things have befallen somebody who is arguably shitty, is just karma coming back to get them. So you shouldn't feel bad at all. But then there's other people that would argue that if you do feel happy for their misfortune, what is it? Schadenfreude? Is that the term? If you feel happy for their misfortune, then you are then bringing negative karma upon yourself.
yeah, I do think that's true on some regard. I mean, I don't believe in fucking karma, but I do think that if you just, I don't know, it's not a good way of thinking. It's a way that'll kind of lead you to be fucking miserable if you just wish spiteful things on people you don't like all the time. I don't know. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those. I mean, I think I kind of find myself in the same boat sometimes, like depending on the person and depending on the thing. Like, as much as I don't like Medicare, I don't wish cancer on him. And I feel bad that he's got it, because it's basically 15 years with good treatment is what he's got left. And that's
the best case scenario.
And that's best case scenario. Yeah. And that's like thinking, okay, well, that's, good for him. Like, that's a long time. And then you go, yeah, it's a long time. But that, think about how much of your life you've already spent. I'm 38. Go back 15 years. I was 23. That was 2005. And I was just talking with my friend yesterday about a movie we did in college in 2005. And it felt like yesterday, So it's one of those things where it's like you go back and you realize that time will fly by so much faster when you're older. It ain't like when you're a kid. When you're a kid, you're making new memories constantly. So it all feels like it's going to take forever. I remember being like 12, the day I turned 12, going, man, only 4 more years until I can turn fucking 16 to get my driver's license. I remember thinking that. I was so excited, like 4 years to wait. It's going to be so long. I just turned 38 back in March. I'm going to blink and my kids are going to be like 5 and 6 years old. And they're 2.5 and 1 right now. And it's just like, nah, right. It's just going to blink by in a moment. And so, yeah, it's like you have to start making those memories and really kind of living life to the extent. And a lot of us, we get into this routine. My life is very much on a routine, and I don't like it when it deviates from that routine, because then I feel like I lose control and then I can't focus on what I want to focus on. But really, that routine sucks up so much of our time because we just go into autopilot. So it's one of those things where it's like, you got to really think about that. So if Russia's got, if he's got stage 4 lung cancer, then it'd be in his best interest to just retire now.
Enjoy the time he has left. Yeah.
And enjoy the time he's got left, like go to the Philippines, find a nice young woman who will, never come up from air from his crotch, although he's a big one. So that's not going to be that bad. And then just enjoy life with with the eternal blowjob. You can afford it. Just pop a pill, get the head, and then lean back, drink a Mai Tai and go, yep, this is living.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, like, someone who's in that type of state, like, if not already in like a fucking critical state, like, clearly this dude doesn't have much time left. Like, do you really want to be exposing yourself to politics and how fucking hateful and spiteful people are? Like, at that point, I would just be like, fuck it, I don't care about. I just don't even have any investment in how things are going to go. I just want to spend the rest of my time enjoying it. And I don't believe in karma, but that point that you made to me earlier kind of made me think. When people were talking about how Trump got COVID, a lot of people were fucking happy about it. And I always thought this at the start, because the dude has access to the best fucking healthcare of any human being. And I might have brought this up on the show before, but now that people have seen that he's recovered from it, he's doing fucking fine. a lot of people are going to take it a lot less seriously, especially his supporters who already didn't take it seriously enough. So left-wing people who are happy about this, the fact that he got COVID, like, no, this was not a good thing at all. If anything, this is making people take COVID less seriously because unlike everybody else in this country, he has access to the best fucking healthcare, like top tier type of shit, more better than anyone else probably in the entire fucking world. And now this is just the situation we're in, where a lot less people are taking it seriously because they see that and they're like, okay, well, if I get sick, then they'll just be able to take care of me and there won't be any issues. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's utterly ridiculous that Trump is out there doing what he's doing as a result of this. I mean, anyone who has followed his treatment levels at all know that he was given the experimental treatments that the rest of us don't have access to.
And probably won't for a very long time.
And probably won't, you know, and then he's out there like talking up Regeneron, which is then making its stock price increase. And it's like, okay, well, they're making money. Good for them. But is that going to bring the product to market faster? And then he's out there saying, oh, where elderly people are going to get, you know, you're going to get saved. We're going to give you vaccines. But the vaccine isn't ready yet. And old people vote. And he knows that. That's why he's saying that. He's like, don't worry about getting COVID. You can risk it. Just we'll give you a vaccine. The thing is, if they go and they vote and they catch it and they die, their vote's already been cast and it's already going to be counted. They might be dead, but he's already got what he wanted out of them.
That's fucking insane.
I think it's insanely irresponsible, given what we know. And then he's out there like attacking Dr. Fauci today on Twitter. And it's like, dude, you're number one guy on this. You know, you're out there saying, oh, if I would have listened to him, we would have had 500,000 to 800,000 people dead. He actually said 500,000 in the phone call. And then later on, like amended it to 800,000. And there's audio of this too. There's audio that was released to CNN. They got their hands on it of Trump saying that if he would have listened to Fauci, more people would have died.
That's the sick thing about this too, is like there's no long-term investment on this for him. Like this is the last term essentially that he can fucking run for president, so he doesn't give a shit if his voter base fucking dies off. Like he got what he wanted, because what he really wanted from the presidency, and I did touch upon this the last time I called in and talked about this type of shit, all he cares about out of his presidency is it's a way for him to expand his fucking brand, and he's already setting himself up to make tons and tons of fucking money off his gullible fucking base. At the end of the day, that's all he wants, is that he wants their money. He wants to expand his brand. He wants the Trump brand to be stronger than ever. And if he loses, it's almost better in a way for him, because then he's going to have even more fucking people who are rising up and saying this election was a complete fucking fraud, and they'll, you know, pour in their money to support him and get him out of what, I mean, the dude's clearly in a fucked financial situation. He's not as rich as he claims to be. It's very fucking obvious. Yeah. But I mean, he's got the gullible people who will pay up and give him the money that he needs. So I mean,
I don't think people are going to pay him the $400 million that he needs. You know, like it's going to be very, I mean, that's a lot of money. And the thing is, Trump has made a lot of money off of licensing. That's what people tend to forget. It's off of licensing. And a lot of those licenses have gone away. You know, like he ran for president to become the most popular man in the world, to have the most popular brand in the world. And this is one of those situations where it's like the monkey paw, you know, or be careful what you wish for, because you just might get what you want. And so he ran thinking he wouldn't win. He ran a terrible campaign and he ended up winning. And now he's trying to run the same kind of campaign. And there are people out there right now that are legitimately arguing that he's going to get a 42 state landslide.
Oh, because people like that think he's the next Reagan. That's why they look at how Reagan was elected.
Oh God, yeah. Jesus Christ. And what I love is how no one looks back. Like none of the conservatives look back on Reagan and go, ooh, that was a bad call. When all the Democrats are like, oh no, we all know that Reagan was a bad call. We're feeling it 30 years later. But because that was always what it was set up to do, just like Trump's tax cuts are set up to do in the next, 8 years. So it's really just, there's so much that's gone on with this whole thing. That's just a fucking nightmare. And I just want it to be fucking over with, you know, but I don't know what's going to happen if this next debate's going to even happen. I think it would be wise for Biden to just not even do it.
I actually saw something about that recently. I saw on Twitter, they mentioned that apparently, certain candidates, like when the other candidate is talking, the candidate who's not speaking is going to have their mic muted. What do you think about that? Do you think that'll be effective?
I think it will be effective, but we're going to hear about, you know, there's going to be a lot of pushback.
Oh yeah, Trump's going to use that to like say that the media is silencing him and shit like that and not letting him speak. 100%. Like he'll spin anything in a way to make his supporters like support
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Hold on, this is pretty funny. ACAT here says Trump will get all 50 states plus a couple of the secret states.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ! The secret.
There are people
states.
out there that are gonna believe that too, man. Okay, real quick, I see PPPs in the chat, and PPP is mad at me because I gave him a little bit of criticism today, and he lost his absolute shit over it. So.
For what?
Well, in the links there, he can come on in if he wants to, but I don't know if he will. I don't know if he's got the cojones boulders to come on in, really. Because he got real triggered today. Got like super triggered. It was pretty funny to listen to. So the long of it, they put out a video on Kraut's other channel called Ball Pit Therapist. Well, Kraut had given it to Godwinson. And they put out this video on Michelle Malkin, who is like the mother of the Groypers, and it was a good video. But then PPP has this whole bit in the end of it where he calls her like the G slur, the Asian G slur, and a bunch of other words. And so the whole channel got flagged down. It got taken down for violating YouTube's terms of service, completely gone. And we're talking about it in this one server we're in. And I said, well, he did say this, so maybe that's one of the reasons. And then PPP just like lost his fucking shit on it. It was funny. And he starts going like, you're a 40-year-old man who's had no life ambition and no life accomplishments and all this shit. And I'm like, I'm just reading this going like, you dude, okay, you're just mad, dude. Like it was a little bit of criticism. Like the YouTube terms of service right now are very specific and in the kind of stuff that they'll do. So if you violate that enough times, and clearly it went after the Groyper army, Nick Fuentes' guys, so they were going to flag the hell out of it. And it got the channel taken down. It's like, you got to be mindful of this kind of crap. Like, that's the whole point I was trying to make. And he just lost his mind over it. So,
yeah, you got a nuts, like, I don't know if it's really like a community that you're necessarily a huge part of, but this whole like sphere of people that you're a part of, man, this is a fucking like nuts little group of people, man. Like all the shit I hear about when I'm listening to Boulder Talk Radio, just all these people who have done all this shit. Like, I don't know shit about Baked Alaska. I don't know about any of these fucking guys that you guys are bickering about all the time.
Well, but it's like there's a larger sphere. Okay. So, it's like, because you came from the drunken peasant side of things.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's contained in its own little bubble with its own little people.
Yeah. Definitely.
This is something that is expanding outward, right? So it's like Baked Alaska. I've never talked to the guy personally. He's emailed me a couple times just to kind of like say hey and check in. Like I said something nice about him, and so he emailed me to say thank you. And like that's really what it was, because it was a couple years ago. And so these guys are doing this IRL road trip thing, and if coming off of the whole Miami trip with Ralph and Worski from last year, and how that whole thing was a mess, and the whole IRL streaming that everyone was trying to do for a while, these guys have kept at it. And this is something that's going on that's catching the attention of people outside of that general sphere because of how cringe it is, because of how cringe it is. And so as a result of that, like people are talking about it, sharing video clips around back and forth. Just go on Twitter and look up the hashtag RV6 tag.
All right, I'll look into
that. And
that.
like, that's where you're going to see it. And like, I've been watching this thing off and on for like a couple days now. This is a 3-week road trip that's going to ultimately just be insane. Like even right now, like, I got a message on Discord and about what's going on. And they're saying like, are they trying to get into that 20-year-old's pants? You have an RV full of like 6 dudes and like one 20-year-old woman, that they're feeding alcohol to. Only bad things are going to happen.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, I don't even know much about these people, but every time I've heard about them, it's something controversial. So when you build your entire brand on controversy, like, you're going to get shit on eventually. Eventually, there will be a fucking bigger fish who makes a video about you and fucking just tears you apart and capitalizes on your failures. And when you make your entire YouTube career off that, like I said, you're always going to end up being the one on the receiving end. Almost always. Yeah. Especially if you're a shithead like this.
Well, what's funny is I had a guy comment tonight that was concerned trolling me. He's all like, I thought you said you were going to leave drama behind. And I'm all like, well, it kind of kept coming to my doorstep. So I might as well just, have a little bit of fun with it. Cause like, fuck it. Like, it's not that I'm outright seeking it. Like, I'm talking about what's going on here cause it's interesting.
I do feel like you're taking a more casual like approach to just like talking about the things that are going on rather than trying to invest yourself. Like,
yeah, I'm not trying to invest. Like, I mean, it's like the whole Boogie thing. Like that was an accident. but a happy accident. That was a happy accident, you know. And I still, after all that time, like I still feel like it was absolutely fake.
Oh my god.
And you know, but I'd be willing to like. I'm not mad at Boogie for it. I don't care. You know, we still follow each other on Twitter. So you know, he hasn't blocked me, and he unfollowed me. I think it was in 2018. He unfollowed me because he thought he got sent a clip of Failure Accomplished. I don't know if you know who he is. He was involved in Tonka's stuff and whatever. Failure's his buddy. And I know I've met Failure at VidCon 2017. And Failure was talking shit about Boogie. And they sent Boogie that clip. And Boogie thought that it was me. Failure's voice is like so much deeper than mine. And I'm like, dude. And so Boogie like unfollows me and then starts attacking me in DMs over it. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck, dude. Like, I'm like, did I say anything I don't know about? But like he started coming after me over this shit. I'm like, it wasn't me that said it, dude. That's Failure Accomplished. That's another guy.
See, that goes to show. Not, I don't want to just say fucking Boogie, but people in general, how fucking quick they'll jump the gun for some type of YouTube drama just for that tasty, you know, like, I just got to get part of that. And Boogie's that type of person because, like, I mean, this is and as good a time as any where I might as well fucking tell you how I got blocked by Boogie because I knew that.
Yeah. You were all like ready, like you had this. You have a whole prepared segment. I believe you wrote it down. You scripted it. It's in a PowerPoint we can bring up on the screen.
Don't hype it up that fucking much because it's actually fucking very simple what happened. I do a podcast with my co-host Swegta. We haven't done it in a while because we're taking a break during the fucking election season. I'm trying to also focus mostly on doing my own solo content and shit. But he's always been a very critical person when it comes to Boogie. He's tweeted at him several times, just, you know, being critical and calling him out on his shit. And there's a lot of shit to call out Boogie on. Like, I don't have as much of a problem with Boogie as Swegta does. But there's plenty of shit to call the dude out on. He's made a lot of mistakes, and he tends to not own up to them in a very productive way. Like, he seems to make the same mistakes over and over, but fucking whatever. So, Swegta made continuous tweets towards the guy. It was earlier this year. I think it was around March or something like that. And eventually, I go to Boogie's profile. Just randomly one day, I check out Boogie's profile. And I was someone who was following him, by the way. So, as far as he was aware, I was a fan of his. I've liked his tweets before. I've had interactions with the dude. I actually booked him for that show, The Drunken Peasants, a while ago, years back. I had an actual conversation with him, got him on the fucking show, and I had no problems with the dude. But I guess because Swegta had tweeted at him enough, and because, you know, in Swegta's profile description, you can see that he says he's a co-host of the podcast. And yeah, I guess Boogie took a look at that, and he looked at that profile account for our podcast, and he saw that I was there, and I got blocked. I never interacted with Boogie, not even once. I never liked I didn't even like any of Swegta's tweets shitting on him, just because I'm not someone who engages with fucking drama on Twitter. And yeah, I got blocked merely by association, so that really fucking soured my opinion on the dude. Pretty fucking bad. And honestly, that's kind of what soured my relationship with the Drunken Peasants too, because I had a conversation with Ben and Billy about that shit. I was like, yeah, I just got blocked out of this dude for no reason, absolutely out of nowhere, just because my co-host had a problem with him. And they were like, I don't know, man, like, did you end up, like, you know, is there something that you could have possibly done in some level to offend him? Like, did you like a tweet against him or something like that? Making all these fucking excuses. And it's like, dude, at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna block someone because they're harassing you constantly, that's one thing. But if you're going to block someone who's never had an interaction with them before just because you happen to know them, I mean, that looks pretty fucking sus. That legitimately looks pretty fucking sus. At least that's just in my opinion. Like, I would never block someone who never even interacted with me, even if I thought they were a total fucking asshole. Like, I don't even have the fucking president blocked, and I find his tweets annoying. But I don't know. That's a really fucking shitty way to get blocked by someone. Just when you know that you didn't do anything wrong, and they're just like, yeah, whatever. I don't like the people that you associate with, so, you know, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no, I understand. Sorry. Fucking in the chat right now. Ace Vendetta Fight Clips just says, press 1 in chat if PPP took the L.
Oh my god! Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
there you go. But then he goes like, Jar was so low energy that my mere presence hijacks his chat. Nah, this is funny, dude. I don't care. Like, come on, if you want to talk about it. If you want to talk about how you got upset that I was like, maybe you shouldn't have said the G slur.
So wait, this dude's fucking butthurt about you. And by the way, at the end of the day, I just want to say, like, I hate that YouTube's a place where you can just have a difference of opinion with someone. Like, you should be able to be like, dude, you fucked up, and someone can be like, I disagree, but whatever. But no, everyone has to take as a personal fucking, personal fucking attack just because you have a disagreement. Dude, if you're actually gonna have the fucking galls to, just take a shit on him from the chat room, why not come in here and actually talk to him in real time, have an actual conversation with him? Are you seriously fucking afraid of that type of, confrontation? You can't defend yourself in real time? Are you fucking serious?
It's not necessarily that. I don't know. I have to wait.
I mean, it seems like that to me, because why the fuck isn't he in here then? He should be explaining himself. He has a lot of time to sit there in the chat and shit on you, but he doesn't have the time to come in here, actually call into a fucking call-in show and have a conversation in real time. It looks bad. I
can't argue with the optics, and I'm generally known as an optics cuck. So that's kind of, and maybe that's what caused the disagreement today. But I thought it was pretty funny though that while we were talking, he kept shifting the goalpost to like my age, which he got wrong, and my accomplishments, of which he has no idea of what I've done or not done. It's funny, he goes like, you haven't accomplished anything. You just haven't accomplished anything. Like, I have a house and I have children. I've been in a loving relationship for 12 years. I own my own business. Sure.
I won't give Jarbo any content. Yeah, dude, because if you come in here, you're just going to get fucking roasted. That's the funny thing about it. He knows if he comes in here, he's just going to be used for content because that's all he's fucking good for. Dude, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Come in here or you're a pussy-ass motherfucker. Seriously, come have a conversation with him. Do you know how bad you look right now? I don't even know who you are, and you're making a fucking fool of yourself. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to give him content. Bullshit. You aren't in here because you're a fucking pussy, and you just don't want to have a conversation with him because you'll know that you'll get fucked.
Maybe we should go over to D Live and he can harvest some more lemons. How about that, PPP? You wanna harvest some lemons?
Yeah, dude. Look at this. He's trying to make gotchas. I can tell. Like he's.
It's so funny. I like PPP too. I just thought it's funny that one little thing of like, hey, maybe that's what got it flagged, and he just like loses it completely.
Like I ain't even trying to be. You know what? I feel like I've said my piece. I'll let you move on, dude. It's always good having a conversation with you. This dude needs to get in here and actually have a conversation with you, just like I did right now. It's not that hard. I'm drunk as shit. I literally don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. If I can come in here with my drunk ass and talk about something with Matt, then you can too. So do it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming in, dude. We'll talk again soon, all right, man?
Yeah, you have a good night, man. Take it easy.
See you later, Animancer. Have a good one, buddy. All right. So let's see. Kira, you've been waiting for a little bit. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, man. I actually want to completely change gears from whatever the hell we're talking about before.
All right.
If that's cool, because, I was wanting to talk about, like, horror movies, at least just, like, one or two of them.
That's definitely a right turn, but okay. This is kind of an open topic show.
All right, so first off, shout out to Hondo, Garrick, Morning Shot, Oatlord, Ghost Shark, Phantom Organization, and Underhaven.
So should we? Let me just pause real quick there. Should we just start calling all these people the Quarry Crew?
I have no problem with that.
It's cringe, but it's funny.
I mean, we could save ourselves some time every time I come on, because I don't do it every time, but. If they like it, yeah, we'll do it.
This first thing that came to my mind, because they were talking the other day about like Boulderinos. I heard people in the chat like we're talking about like what should we call ourselves, like Boulderinos or something, And I'm all like, this is a weird conversation. How do you have a conversation with people about what kind of nickname the chat wants to have? And because my personal approach to it is like,
right.
I've never been in a real big position where I've had that situation, so I don't want to step in and say anything. Yeah,
a huge fan base that
I don't have. I mean, I appreciate for being here. If people want to have names, that's cool, but I just feel it's weird. Like I shouldn't be the one to assign it. I feel that would be very egotistical of me if I was like, I shall name you this.
Well, and I'm new to this, and I'm not going to say something like Ralph Mill because that sounds stupid as shit, obviously. But you know what I mean. So it's not my place. I'll just
Hondo here says Quarry Crew or excavators. John says Boulder Boys. Signed or Singed Halo says Jarbots.
Jarbots. I don't. That's not terrible.
I just find it funny. You guys are having fun with it. That's pretty good.
Well, we could be here for days thinking about this.
Yeah. So all right, man. So what's the horror stuff you want to talk about?
Okay, the horror stuff that I was wanting to talk about was, for example, have you ever seen the movie The Forsaken?
I've heard of The Forsaken. Let me see if I have seen it.
It's a vampire film.
Okay.
First of all.
Oh, yeah. No, you know what it is, man? It's like I don't think I've seen the whole movie. I've seen part of it because I remember like watching it and going, I really hated how they filmed it at night.
Yeah, and there was like really stupid parts where like everybody's like, crashing around in cars and stuff like this. And
Yeah. I mean, like it looks stupid, but
and then it was like they're all just driving around. Somebody's trying to like film, vampire hunting, that kind of stuff. And the thing that always comes to me whenever I see this film is I always get it confused with Dracula 2000.
That was a much better movie.
Yeah, well, it has a very decent sort of like mythos for vampires. Do you remember what it was?
No, not really. It's been a while.
Well, I'll just, sort of, keep it simple. But the thing is, they said that the first vampire was Judas because he accepted all of that money for,
for selling out Christ.
Yeah, for selling out Jesus. And that's why the 30 pieces of silver, that's why vampires hate silver, and that he hung himself at dawn, and that's why vampires hate daylight.
Interesting choice. I've always liked the theory that Lazarus was the first zombie.
Oh, really? I have not heard about that. Is there something?
Well, it's been used in some stories before. A friend of mine like wrote an audio drama that had it in there, and it was like pretty cool.
Okay. So are you looking at any other films that you want to watch?
Well, I mean, so it's kind of funny today, for example.
I'm not talking about vampire films. Just
no. Just in general. So today, they put out that Lionsgate dropped the new poster for the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Another remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre coming out in 2021. So I'm like another one?
Like the 6, 8?
It's something along those lines. And so I went to the website, texaschainsaw.com, and it was like just the poster. And you hear the music and the iconic music. And so that it's the Chainsaw Massacre. But then you go and you click on like it says like save your skin or whatever. Click on that, and then it goes like, oh, get up. It's like stay up to date with what's going on. Okay, so add a mailing list. But then it goes, and then you can get access to a downloadable code for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War and like Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone. So it's a fucking video game, or it's a movie that's having a tie-in, a promotional tie-in already with Call of Duty.
Yeah, they've done that I don't know how many times. I mean, the worst case scenario, or not worst case, but what I'm saying is like before, didn't they do that with Michael Myers in Call of Duty Ghosts? I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't know. I know like Terminator ended up in Ghost Recon, and Predator was in, I think, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and then they've done a bunch of other things on that one. It's been very weird.
Well, it's just they put all these weird characters into movies, or not movies, into games where they make absolutely no sense, where it's like, oh, well, you can suddenly turn into this character. And
it's a weird thing. The cross promotion, I don't think it's necessary to have the kind of cross promotion, because horror movies technically do well on their own, and they do well without needing that. And you can make a low budget horror movie make $1 billion, So it's like, it's really dumb. But hey man, I got a lot of people that have been piling on in. So I'm gonna race through some people. So
no, just one thing, man. Did you see Babysitter 2?
No, I haven't seen Babysitter. I haven't seen the first one either.
Oh, it's another Samara Weaving movie. I thought.
Yeah. Well, I know my friend. I don't know if you listened to the patio commentary.
Yeah, we were talking about Ready or Not, and I actually commented on it. But I'll leave
All right, all right,
Yeah,
all right, all right. I got Phantom
No,
Organization bitching in the
man.
back room.
I'll let you get to it,
All
man.
right, okay.
I'm sorry. Thank you for having me
Thanks for
on.
coming
I
on,
appreciate
Kira.
it.
All right, have a
Okay?
good one, buddy. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
You too.
Okay. Let's all right. Ear juice is going on, man. I know you've been back there for a few. He might have stepped away for a minute.
Hey man, what's doing? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I think PPP just left.
Awesome.
I was going to bring PPP on in a minute, but you've been waiting a little bit, so I didn't want to whatever. Fuck it.
Oh, was he in waiting with us? You can't see who's in waiting. It's really annoying.
I can see who's in waiting. You guys can't see who's in waiting, but I can see.
What was he in waiting?
Yeah, I think it was him. I was just going to get to you and get to him after that. It's like I go in order.
There you go. There you go. That would have been interesting. Yeah. So what? So he seems to have a problem with you because you grift, because you get money like $5 off a stream or something.
I made
and that's like
I made $5 tonight, and apparently that's too much. I don't know. He's very much gone and done that whole notion of being upset that YouTube auto puts ads on videos. Right. So it's like if I click monetization, if I click add or enable monetization on this video, once I'm done streaming, it won't be immediately active. It takes time for the video to process. And then when the video processes, it will then auto add a shitload of ads in there. So what I do is I just turn off monetization generally until the next morning. And then I turn it on, and then I just delete all of those mid-roll ads. Because it's like, all right, whatever. But it's like I have to wait. It depends on how long the stream is. It's really annoying, but it wasn't intentional. But he's out there trying to make it seem like it's intentional because it's just some more bullshit, and it is what it is.
Yeah, that's like, and that was my criticism of him. Is it's just like he seems to like. I get that there's grifters, and I get that there's big scammers going on, but he's equivocating that anybody that's like just getting tips and making $5 off a stream or something is just as bad. And it's all like, would it really matter if you turned off your donation button or if I turned off fucking Streamlabs or something? Like, I just don't see how that's really gonna make a massive difference in the world.
It's really not that big of a deal. It's really not. You know, like I had people hit me up today offering like, oh, you could do like, you know, Patreon tiers for like fucking Boulder Talk if you wanted to. I'm like, yeah, we're not, you know, we're nowhere near that world. You know, like I don't want to make it pay to play, but you know, like it is, you know, yeah, this the subject of profitability always comes up in conversations because it's show people watch. And so if there's a way to like make it work, you make it work. But the difference is that, you know, PPP goes, I'm anti-capitalist, but then is still going to be getting the, you know, the Great Lemon Hunt where they made like, I think $400 that night or some shit like that, off of trying to out-grift Ralph, which was funny.
Yeah.
And I don't care about any of that. Like, I'm not going to look at it like it's a negative. Like, dude, you could sit there, turn ads, super chats. You could spread your butthole on OnlyFans and charge a monthly fee for that. I don't care. Like, this has been my business for years. I don't give a shit how you do it.
It's like, who cares, man? Like, yeah, it's, and the other thing is getting burnt out as well. It's the reason why I stopped doing law videos and just started doing streams, because streams are a hell of a lot easier than editing fucking, you know, for months or weeks on end, just editing to try and get out a law video that only a few hundred people watch. It's sort of like, okay, well, pats on the back and everyone saying, yeah, Ear Juice, that's great work. It's all well and good, but it gets to a point where it's sort of like, you know, why am I doing this? And you just get burnt out. And I think that the best content is made when there's some sort of incentive to do so. Like, you know, it's like the new channel Kill All Pedos that sort of popped up lately. He does great work and he does all this editing. It must take him forever to do it. And my worry is like, you know, what happens when it's a year from now and he's sort of like, oh, God damn it, like, I love all the pats on the backs and stuff. Really, why am I doing this? What's the incentive?
And that's very true. I mean, it's like I you know, his Ballad of Ethan Routh video was like an actual piece of art. You know, it was really well done, and I thought it was funnier than shit. but yeah, I mean, what's his, like, is he getting, because the thing is, people want him to keep doing that, right? So it's
Yeah.
like when you get something that blows up like that, people want you to keep doing it. And it's like, that was a lot of work. And Jim has a lot of content. Like, the best thing that he could do would be to talk to MC Jarbo and like find out if he could copy that. I know he won't give up that software for ripping people's voices, but like, if that was available in some other fashion, it would make those kind of videos a lot easier to make. But really, mass producing content in Jim's voice is going to get old even after a while.
Yeah,
So,
well, I'm guessing he did. I'm trying to get him on the show for this weekend to sort of talk to him about it, because I'm guessing that's what he did, because it's so well put together and so well edited that I'm guessing he's got similar software that's ripped a whole bunch of Jim streams and he's just typed in a script and it's pumped it out for him. That would be my guess. But
maybe, yeah. I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
I'd have to ask him
but,
about that.
like there's that sort of thing. Like I'm just using him as an example, or even myself. Like, I stopped doing lore videos and the hevier content because it was sort of just like, why am I doing this? Like, just sitting at a computer for hours, like, for what? I could do a stream and just it's just a hell of a lot easier. Because there's not really that much incentive. Not really that I want money or anything. I'm just saying that after a while, it becomes an incentive to do things, I think. And by attacking anybody and just saying, well, no, you shouldn't be making any money off anything because it's all fucking gay and grifting's gay and all of this. It just gets to a point.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, that's kind of like, it's like I do the movie stuff, right? And so it's been pretty dead. And it's all been pretty dead. And so like yesterday I sat down with my buddy and we talked for 45 minutes about Ready or Not and just had a good time having a conversation about that. And we're going to keep doing it. We're going to try to do it once a week, with the hopes being that it's something that picks up, like at least develops a smaller community, and we can build upon that. We both love watching movies. It's fun to talk about, and it is easy. It is easy, but you know what I've been learning is it's really like people, like, I know in my position, like I go and I do the food delivery or even doing shit for the census, I will look through my subscription feed and I am bored to fucking tears with the shit that's coming out of my feed. It's just the same regurgitated shit, and like, not to sound super narcissistic, but I'll just re-listen to like a stream like of this. I'll pop on a Boulder Talk and I'll just listen to it, even though I know what people are going to say, but it's like, it's something that it's kind of comfy in the background and it's just interesting, at least to me personally. Or I'll find another podcast to listen to that I like, just kind of a long form discussion. And that's about it. But so many people just like shit out content for the sake of shitting out content. And I've done it too. I've done it a lot. I'm not going to sit there and knock it, but it's like a lot
42 Ghostbusters videos, Matt Jarbo. I counted them all. 42.
That is perfectly fine. But in my defense,
I watched every single one of them though. In my defense as well.
Yeah, I see. There you go. But if you go back, a lot of the time, I would say about 9 out of 10 times, it was new content. It was a new development in the story. It might have been talking about older stuff, but I generally waited until something new came around.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like going like, what I fucking hated those videos where it's Enjoy Sparkle did this shit. She fucking did this shit all the time. She would go like, let me tell you these. I have 2 stories to tell you about today. And she would turn one of them. It would just be one story. It'd be 25 minutes of her prattling on about nonsense, and then go. But for the second part, we're going to have to go to another video for that one.
Yeah.
It drives me up the wall. Because so many people out there, they're not good storytellers. And even I fail at being a good storyteller, but it's like a lot of people out there, they're not good storytellers. They can't read for shit. Their mic quality is terrible. They don't even try to make it sound decent. And then it's just like, you have to ask yourself, are you doing this because you want to do this? Or are you doing this because you think it's easy? And again, but even then, like what you said, but the lore videos, like the lore videos take a lot of time to edit. And if no one watches it, then you get burnt out. But if you can shit out 4 or 5 videos a day, not a problem.
Well, that's it. And then if the incentive becomes about money, then sometimes people, like that Internet Man guy that made a John Bolton lore video. He makes lore videos basically, and he was talking about this where he was getting burnt out but he made these Chris Chan videos and they became really, really popular. So he just started doing those and getting extra cash from it. And then he started doing these law videos, but only doing like these 15-minute things, basically just so they'd get over the 10-minute mark, really, because he just started doing it for money. And then he started getting criticized, and he's sort of taken a step back and going, oh, okay, yeah, I'm sort of lost my way. So there's a bit of give and take. But fuck, dude, like if I turned off, like, because I have donations really for one reason, and it's because I like donating to streams myself. So that's why I have it turned on. I have little animations. I like reading out people's shit. It's usually always saying about niggers and dicks and all of this sort of stuff that I have to read out. So it's a bit funny, it just breaks up stuff. It's like if I turned all that off, I just don't see the world cracking open and it all ending or leaving it on would do that either. Like I really don't get this hard stance, no grifting, no asking for money ever, and piling anybody that even gets $4 out of a stream, putting them in with Coach Red Pill never releasing his book and all of that stuff in the same boat, like you're just as bad as these people. It just seems, I don't know. It just seems like a bit of an unfair thing.
Well,
and that's why I sort of started going at PPP a bit the other day and just saying, well, he ain't exactly the most perfect person when he comes into your DMs and blames you for Twin breaking down and him crying about Godwinson not DMing him and all of this sort of stuff. It's just like you're a bit silly yourself sometimes, dude.
No, I get it.
And throw out little criticisms, I'll do the same.
And well, that's the thing. That was the whole thing today. Is like our conversation was about that, and I was just sitting here laughing because like it's what I expect out of him. Again, I don't dislike him. I don't. I like PPP. I like Godwinson. I have no issue with that. I just find it funny that it's like talking about how YouTube's going to operate, and then getting mad at me for talking about how YouTube operates is interesting, and then how it just devolves into like trying to move the goalposts and then hyperbole and personal attacks and all of this thing. And what he said to me is, and I will let you go after this because I still have like about a half hour left and a bunch of people to get to. But he goes like, oh yeah, like, you're talking to a guy who's almost half your age, like, like you're older, like by almost double, because he's a young guy. So I said, you're right. You are younger. That's all I said. And then he's like, old sage Jarbo. Wise Jarbo. And I'm all like, it's called life experience. It's called life experience. Like, I don't have the same life experience he does. I haven't spread my cheeks for the world to see, and I never will. But it's just that whole notion of like, all right, well, like, yeah, I have life experience. And so I also understand YouTube as a platform, and you clearly don't, more or less it was like, you have no regard for other people's channels when you go on to them. Like, because he said, like, I can tank a channel, open up a new channel, and everyone will follow me. And you know what? That's true. People will talk about it. They'll follow over. But if you're on someone else's channel, which Ball Pit Therapist was not his channel, and you're dropping the G slur and a bunch of other, you're saying all this other shit, that can be, and it got flagged down. It did get flagged down. It might be maybe, okay, don't do that next time. Don't give them the ammo to use to be able to flag it down. There are more tactful ways to be able to say what you want to say.
That's it. Well, I don't know. I just want to see if he can take a bit of banter himself, because I have a feeling that he's not the greatest at taking banter. This is why he didn't want to talk to certain Spurgs and stuff like that.
He likes to over talk. It's a domination tactic that he thinks works, but it doesn't. All right, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna let you go and move on to the next caller.
Two things. Let me face talk for myself. I want to see this camera work. Yo, bitches, ear juice. Oh, cool, that worked. And and the other thing, dude, do the fucking MC Jarbo song with us.
Yeah, I know. We got to set up some time to work on that.
Whatever, Jarbo. I know that you've been fucking trying to fucking dog me, and you don't want to do it.
I'm not trying to dog. No, I'm gonna do it. I swear, I'm
dogging. Totally dogging.
I'm now off the census, so my schedule can get back to normal. So yeah, we'll figure it out. I will do it. I promise you, I'll do it.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man.
All right, man.
All right,
have a good one.
All right, we'll talk soon. All right, thanks. Thank you very much, Ear Juice. All right, Phantom. I know you've been waiting a while, buddy. I appreciate that. What's going on? You're back on the show.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it, guys. PPP running away from Mundane Matt, guys. You hate to see it, but it finally happened. Flying too high means that you crash even harder on the ground when you fall. And that's what we've been seeing here today, ladies and gentlemen. PPP running away, running scared from Mundane Matt. He's literally Ethan Ralph posting in the text chat, and he won't come on to talk with the StreamYard's link in the description of this video. And when he finally came here, he couldn't wait like a normal human being. He thinks he's a celebrity. He thinks you owe him anything, Mundane Matt.
No, I don't owe anyone
PPP
anything.
is no king. PPP is no god. He is but a man. PPP is but a man. Mundane Matt. He's a man. Flesh and blood.
Well, we've seen his nether bits, so yes, I would assume that on the biological scale, he is in fact a man. On the social scale, one might assume he is a bitch.
That's right. He's a beastler. Beastler. Mundane Man, how are you getting away with it?
I don't know. I just show
How
up.
are you getting away with it, Mundane Matt?
I'm here.
Over and over again. You get all these high-profile guests on your show. You own every IBS king, every IBS god without moving a finger. You hate to see it. I was backing the right horse all along, guys. I knew this would happen. He's like, Mundane Matt is like PPP's Frankenstein monster, guys. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, did you happen to check out the other night with when Southern Dingo made his final appearance on the show? Did you hear about that?
No.
Okay, so Southern Dingo was like calling in a lot, right?
Yeah.
And so apparently, like, you know, I think you got mad at me for it or something. A lot of people got mad at me for it.
Dingo the snake.
Yeah. And so he's calling in, and then I guess he finally found out that I'm part Jewish on my father's side. And so he actually discovered it finally, and I've been open about this. And then he's just like, "Well, I'm not calling in anymore because I'm part Jewish on my father's side."
Now that is ridiculous. You see, guys, the Jews win again. The Jews win yet again. You cannot beat the Jews, guys. So you better put all of your bread in that basket. You better put all of your bread in the Jew basket, because that's how you win. That's how you win the culture war, guys. And if you go against the Jews, the base Jews, like PPP tried to do, you see what happens. Boom. Owned. Boom. Oh, slapped around. Boom. And now he's not even here anymore. He's afraid of Mundane Matt. PPP is scared of Mundane Matt. You hate to see it, guys. You hate to see it. It's incredible.
I'm merely just a humble Boulder merchant, and I provide quarry for all. Apparently, that's too much.
That's right. And if PPP does not come into this StreamYard right now to talk man-to-man with you, he wanted to 2-on-1 Mundane Matt. He had to 2-on-1 Mundane Matt. He had to gang up on Mundane Matt just to equalize the power levels. He knew he couldn't beat Mundane Matt 1-on-1, so he said, "Oh, I need my friend here so we can debate you 2-on-1. It's crazy. You hate to see it. It happened at last. PPP, his hubris has reached new levels, guys, or shall I say new lows. New lows. So sad.
Well, let me ask you this then, P.O. What's your current take on where things are with this kind of commentary side of things? Do you see it all kind of crumbling down because everyone is now going to have to play it nice with YouTube, or else they're going to have their channels deleted? You know, do you think everyone's gonna freak out and like move away, or are they going to find new ways to run that grift?
Well, I'm just gonna put it this way, guys. You want to put your bread in the basket of Mundane Matt. I have friends in high places, okay? If I make a mistake here or there, it's okay. I can contact my good friend Mundane Matt, and he will get me out of trouble. Okay,
That's
what
not-
I'm gonna say on that part. He's
That's not.
he's
really
gonna bail
true.
me out, guys. He's gonna bail me out. Very cool.
I don't.
Excellent.
No,
Yes.
no.
No. Yes.
No.
Yes.
no.
Yes.
I can't
Yes.
do that.
Yeah. You. But yeah. Yes. Thanks, Mundane Matt. You're so great. Thanks, dude.
All
right.
I think
I'm just gonna go, dude. I think I overstayed my welcome.
Well, I see
you later.
Grim Cheers wants to come on. I don't know. Do you have anything with Grim Cheers? Is that some potential?
I don't know
drama?
anyone by that name. I would suggest everyone just call him by his real true name. Tease Kitty. That's his name. Okay. That is his new name, guys. It's not that G slur. It's not the G
What?
slur name he's
Sorry,
got. It's
we got
Tease Kitty.
My finger slipped. He came on in.
Hold
Oh,
up.
shit.
Hold up. No. What's
No.
this shit?
I've got to go, guys. I've got to go.
Run away with your wooden shoes, faggot! Okay, Matt, we got some shit to talk. You're over here telling people you're the goddamn Boulder King? What the fuck, nigger? I will fucking out Boulder you any goddamn day. I challenge you to a fucking rock breaking contest, motherfucker.
What the fuck just happened? So hold on, wait. So you and PO don't get along? Is that correct?
It's complicated.
Okay. 'Cause I don't even
He
know.
fucking ran away with his little Dutch wooden shoes. Ooh, orca, borka, schmorka.
Well, he did. He did. I don't know why. So fill me in on the lore real quick. What's going on with the lore?
Oh, well, you said you could out Boulder me.
Did I?
Yeah, you said you're the Boulder King.
That is a name that people have assigned to me.
That is a name I will
I'm
take from
merely
you.
I'm merely a humble Boulder merchant. So
I am
don't-
too.
So
What kind of Boulder? What kind of boulders you merchandising, Matt?
over the shoulder Boulder holders. I'm in the Boulder apparel market.
What you know about minerals? What you know about turquoise? What you know about chrysocolla? What you know about gem silica?
Nothing.
Well, then you are a Boulder F slur, sir.
You already said the N word, but I appreciate the
Oh,
self censor.
did I?
Yeah, you did.
I apologize. Sorry, Matt.
No,
I came in hot.
You came in hot. It happens. That's okay. No, I mean, like, the only reason why they call me the Boulder King is because I was like, I was out collecting rocks with my family, and that apparently triggered people because they didn't understand exactly what it meant.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
that's all it is. It's an old meme. It's an old meme. There is a quarry that is not far from my house
Based.
that I have thought about going and doing a brief photo shoot at just for shits and grins.
Well, dude, you should actually get into you're out on the West Coast. They have some
Yeah.
pretty good minerals out there that are actually worth a lot of money. I would look for Ocean Scene Jasper. You're really close to it, and it's going for around like $60 a pound right now.
Oh wow! You know what I did once up in Alaska is I went gold painting.
Yeah.
That
Gotta
shit
get
was
your
fun. That shit was fun.
Yeah, it's fucking base, dude. I've done all kinds of mining, like all different kinds, but particularly I mine turquoise, because I have a claim for it.
Okay, and you can make some good money off turquoise.
Oh yeah, you can make. There's hella bank in it, bro.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, what kind did you say that it was out here? The ocean what?
Ocean Scene Jasper.
Okay.
Yeah, I would check around for that. Shit, I'll shoot you some links on Twitter just so
Sure,
you know
go
what
ahead,
to
man.
look for.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah.
I like to learn stuff, so I like to know things, and so that sounds interesting.
Oh shit. Well, if you ever need any tips on like minerals or mining, hit me up. That's what I do for a living.
All right, man. I'll keep that in mind. It may not be all the time, but I'll see if it comes up. And I'm looking for things to do with my family. So
Yeah,
and
for
nothing's
sure.
fucking open.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I ask that you bequeath the title of Boulder King to me, sir.
I can't do that, but I can tell you what I can do. I can call you a Boulder Prince. How about that? I can make you a Boulder Prince, maybe a Boulder Duke.
I'll take that. You know what?
kick-ass
I'll
Duke.
take that. Yeah. Fucking
All right.
base. Boulder
Fucking
Duke.
Boulder Duke. All right, man.
Take it easy.
I'll see you later. Have a good one. Okay. I have a feeling this will probably end up being the last one of the night because we're coming up close on the 2 hour What the fuck? Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Let's see here. Okay, if you guys can hear me, press 1, because I just had a bit of a connection issue there. So, is it shit. All right. If you guys can hear me, there we go. All right. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, good. All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Just YouTube censoring me. I know. Someone said the N word, and I ended up getting censored for a minute. That's the problem. Okay, great. Chris here. All right. PPP, is that you?
Yeah, Jarbo. How goes it, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. Just kind of chilling tonight. How you doing? You watching any of that baked shit go down, or are you just hearing the updates in the group?
Oh, no, I've been watching it pretty religiously. I've been almost going 24/7 with this shit there. I've been getting ready to do a show on it there, just recap it for people. That sort of thing. Look, I was going to call in about a week ago, Matt, because, again, you were saying that the blood of 200,000 people is on President Trump's hands. I was going to call in like a week or 10 days ago, and then there wasn't a Boulder talk for a really long time. I announced I wanted to come on. You just want to justify how President Trump has the blood personally of 200,000 people on his hands? Would you like to justify that?
Do you not ever associate the failures of a leader with at the responsibility of the leader?
Mm-hmm. So would you say that Justin Trudeau has the blood of 20,000 Canadians on his hands? Or yes. Boris Johnson? Really? Boris Johnson has the blood of all those British people on his hands?
Yes.
Wow. That's fucking sad, Jarbo. Honestly, because I just wouldn't say that any politician had the blood on their hands. What could they have done? What could President Trump have done differently that you would have done that would have saved those 200,000 lives? What would you have done?
Listen to science. Not made it about my ego, not made it about my campaign, not made it about because it was all a lie.
Wait a minute. Did Prime Minister Trudeau?
You asked about Trump. You asked specifically about Trump.
But you've said they all have the blood on them.
They all do. Because the failures fall back on them. Yes, they do. But the thing is, a lot of times in these situations, a lot of people look to see how America handles it.
They're guilty of war crimes, right? Then, because they killed these people. The blood's on their hands.
To be fair, even Obama is guilty of war crimes. Bush is guilty of war crimes.
Yeah.
We're not calling it a war, though.
Wait a minute. I'm just going to be honest here. Since President Trump is responsible for 200,000 deaths, should he be put to death for killing these people?
No, it's not. It's not about.
Okay.
It's not about that.
What punishment should the leaders of the world face?
They should be voted out. They should be voted out.
But the blood's on their hands. When you say the blood
that is on their hands, yes.
When you say the blood is on somebody's hands, you're saying they're responsible. They're guilty. They killed those people. That's what you're saying. Should President Trump have closed the border in January? Should he have closed it completely? Would you have supported that at that time?
I supported the travel ban out of China. I supported a lot of that stuff.
It didn't come from China. What did you support? A worldwide travel ban?
Yeah, I supported locking down the borders. I supported the stay-home orders. Yes,
because a lot of Democrats didn't support it because it was racist. Do you remember Nancy Pelosi saying?
Am I Nancy Pelosi?
You're a Democrat, man. You got to defend these people.
I am registered as a Democrat because I have to be. But yeah,
Nancy Pelosi said that you should go to Chinatown and spend your money. That's what she said. They made it out to be racist and crazy to shut down the border. And people like you wouldn't have supported it at the time. And now you come back. You have any proof you supported it at the time? Because I can pretty much guarantee you would have been one of these leftists telling us it's racist to close the border. It's wrong to close the border. And for you to have the fucking balls to say that the blood is on these politicians' hands, what would you have done? Because every country in the world, no matter how much they listen to the science, had fucking people die. So, Prime Minister Jarbo, the blood would have been on your hands too, right?
If I would have had a catastrophic failure, like let's say Italy, for example, then yeah, that would be on my head. That would be on my hands due to the failures of me in my position.
Wait, what country would you consider a success right now?
I would say New Zealand did quite a good job. South Korea did quite a good job. There have been a number of countries that have actually handled it quite well, better than us, that have had very minimal deaths.
Haven't these countries had deaths though?
You're not going to be able to prevent every single death 100%.
Oh, okay. So what would have been the acceptable death ratio for Trump then? How many deaths would have been acceptable to you? 10,000?
I don't have a number on that
50,000. How many would have been acceptable? Because they said 2 million Americans might die. That's what they said.
That was a number,
said.
So and so we've had 10% of that. We've had 10% of that.
90% reduction. A 90% reduction, and you're going to sit here and tell us that the blood's on his hands for a 90% reduction? Really? Justify that.
What I'm talking about here. No,
you can't justify it. You can't justify it.
PPP. What we're talking about here is a situation where
whether or not these politicians killed those people. That's what you said.
By Trump's own rhetoric and the lack of action. Yes. By coming out there today, the lack of action is not talking about not pushing for social distancing, not wearing masks, and when he contracted COVID, getting the treatment that he got, and then coming back out after that and saying, I feel great, don't worry about this. 200,000 of your countrymen are dead, but hey, man, fuck it. Don't let it ruin your life.
How many of those 200,000 had a comorbidity, Jarbo?
I don't know.
You fucking know it was more than 80% had a comorbidity. These deaths were not caused solely by COVID.
No, these deaths were not caused solely by COVID.
Some of these motherfuckers died in car accidents, for fuck's sake, and tested positive for COVID after they were dead on the slab, for fuck's sake, man. You know, these to try and say that this disease would have been preventable. Which countries have really prevented it? Fuck, you said New Zealand. Again, they don't have a whole lot of travel with the rest of the world. The United States is the economic hub of humanity. Should we have shut everything down from the beginning? Because that's what you want to say, right? But your side isn't for that. That's what I don't get. What you're trying to ascertain, or what you're trying to argue, is that I believe in everything that the Democrats believe in. I don't. Okay. I don't think you needed. Again, you're saying the blood is on their hands. The blood,
because that is a catastrophic failure of leadership in our country. And if our country is what you said, the economic hub of the world, that means that it does kind of ripple outward. And so other countries are going to take what we do in kind. They're going to follow. They're going to look to us to lead by example. And when you have the incompetency that came out of the White House during this situation,
what was the incompetency?
Oh my God! I just said it, dude. It was not wearing masks, not enforcing social distancing.
But didn't he wear a mask
when he got COVID? He did, and then
wait a minute. He wore it at the military hospital when he was visiting veterans.
Oh yeah,
he
wore it then, because.
But hey, the reality of it was that it wasn't always the position of the CDC to say you should wear a mask. In January, they told us not to wear a mask, Jarbo.
But they told you not to wear. They told you not to wear masks in hoping. But see, you're being disingenuous, PPP. You're being disingenuous.
But they said that.
Fauci did say that because they weren't aware of it at the time. They weren't aware of all the information at the time. This is the thing.
You to buy up masks at that time.
And there's that as well. And that's the reason why there was a shutdown, is because they didn't want to overload the hospitals. So that's why there was a shutdown.
So if Dr. Fauci is faulty, we should believe him 100% then?
No, I'm not saying you look.
Yeah, like this is what you're saying. Trust the science.
I'm saying, I would trust Dr. Fauci 1,000 times over Trump on this issue, 100%.
Your point of contention on masks is foolish anyway, because back in January when all this was starting, right? They said not to wear a mask. So if we were to trust the science, Trump should have said not to wear a mask. Then only months later, in order to screw the American people even harder, do we then say, oh, now you wear a mask. Now that the supplies are exhausted, now you wear a mask. So if the scientists can be corrupted like that, why should we trust them?
What you're basically trying to argue is that the science is wrong, but you're not also looking at it from the whole. What you're trying to argue here is that the science that we knew in January versus the science that we have now are the same. We didn't have the same data then. We have better data now. They've done things to try to mitigate the spread of this by trying to talk about social distancing and wearing a mask. And what you're basically trying to argue here is that
what we've learned is that less than 1% of people that catch it die. Isn't that what we've learned? That 80% of cases have had a comorbidity. That's what we've learned, right? This is what we've learned. We've learned that this isn't so serious that we should be shutting down the whole fucking country, destroying the economies of the world. People are fucking going to be out on the street homeless. And you're saying Trump doesn't have the right leadership?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Like, it's just crazy. Look, man, the reality of it is saying the blood's on his hands is just where I go a step too far. Look, you can say it's bad policy. You can say he's a bad president. But to put the blood on any politician's hands, like they fucking put a knife in those people and killed them, I think is crazy and wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
I think that Barack Obama should be brought up on war crime charges for the 180,000 Iraqi civilian deaths that happened under his watch.
Yeah, I think President Obama should be
And
prosecuted
so
for war crimes, and President Bush. But do you think President Trump should be prosecuted for these crimes?
This is a different situation. This is a leadership
crime?
issue. This is not something that was a deliberate direct action. In this case, it was all about a lack of. And so what we're talking about here is a situation. We're talking about a situation where you have got science that's saying the whole world. Yeah,
pants down.
exactly. And you're exactly. And so if they look to the United States to lead, and that didn't happen. They look to the United States to lead, as everyone is. That's what everyone does in this country, and they look to us. But because of the failures of our leadership, we have found ourselves in a situation with 220,000 Americans dead.
Genuinely. So you're going to say the Canadian healthcare system, right?
No, I'm not, dude. I'm talking about America. You guys have got. You're better. I don't know if I'd argue better. I've heard different things, but you have a different system in place. You have a very different system in place.
We have a very different system in place, the socialized medicine system. Everybody gets their health care for free in quotation marks, right? But we still had people dying. We couldn't stop it. And we were the country that was biggest for masks. We're the country that's biggest for collectivization, right? Like, that's what Canada is all about, is following the authority and following the rules. And we did that, and we still had people die. And I just don't think it's fair to put the blood on Prime Minister Trudeau's hands or on President Trump's hands, when really at the end of the day, there's not much they could do about it. People would still die.
Well, I'm looking at the numbers now. I'm looking at the numbers now, and 9,778 people passed away in Canada because of COVID.
Yeah.
So less than 10,000 people have died.
Yeah, but there are less people living in Canada than
that's
there
true.
are in California.
That is all. Again. That is something else there that you have failed to acknowledge in this situation. The population of Canada is 37 million people. The population of California is about 41 million people.
That's
so the
what
entire
I'm saying.
So that
helps my argument, though.
No, that doesn't. Actually, that benefits my argument when I talk about social distancing.
Go per capita?
What I'm talking about is social distancing in major metropolitan areas, as well as yes. Oh,
Jarbo,
yes, PPP.
Jarbo,
yes.
Social distancing. All of Canada's population lives very dense. Do you understand that, right?
The Canadian population lives in a number of large cities, very much like the United States does.
And in Toronto, we've had a ton of fucking cases, including cases just this past week that surpassed the peak of Canadian number of cases, man. We've seen in the past month in Toronto huge problems. Even though we've implemented social distancing, even though we've implemented lockdowns, people are still getting it. People are still dying. At the end of the day, this is something that's going to run its course.
So you had 90 people in Toronto. 90 people in Toronto tested positive on October 2nd. The 53 October 3rd, 19 October 4th, 23 October 5th. Those are small numbers. Those are the same kind of numbers I'm getting in my 40,000 person city. So it's like those are very small numbers. In Toronto itself, there's been 1,318 deaths. That's been about the same for the state of Washington in general. So again, what we're talking about here, when we talk about population density, hold on here. What is Toronto population? What's Toronto's population?
4 million. About
6.197 million.
In the GTA, if you include the GTA, but the population of Toronto proper is probably no more than 4.5 million.
Okay, 4.5 million, 1,300 deaths. That is very small. That's a very small number.
So are those an acceptable number of deaths then? So if
I don't think any number is acceptable.
So you're being crazy to me.
No, I'm not. I'm not being.
Even
I see. What I
with
love is I
all
love that
we've
you're
done.
harping on the fact that I'm putting responsibility of these deaths on the politicians, because it is their leadership that would help either mitigate this or expand upon this, and their
No,
lack of I'm talking about my country's administration, a country of which you do not live and or operate in. So when you're talking to me about what I feel about what my government has done or lack thereof in regards to handling the situation, that's what I'm
So,
coming at it from.
I
So if you want to talk about if you want to talk about numbers that are dead,
a simple question. I have a simple question. Could the government solve this problem?
the
Can
government could have helped. Yes, the
Can-
government. Could they have solved it entirely? No, not at all, because it's airborne. You can't see it, and it's going to get around. Commerce
that's what I'm
happens,
saying. You
trade
can't-
happens. But what you can do,
but
what you can do
government
is you
isn't
can
the
make
solution here.
the government
isn't
could
the
have done.
solution here.
The government could have absolutely enforced more of the business shutdowns. They could have brought in stimulus for those businesses. What we saw
They brought in stimulus for businesses.
yes, to large
They
corporations,
did.
not so
Oh
much mom
my
and pop
God.
shows.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right. It was only to large corporations.
There was
you know.
quite a
Oh,
number of that stimulus package went to large corporations. Now I was able to get, in the Small
Do you
Business
think-
Association has about
question.
$1.5 billion that they
think-
gave out.
Do you think small business owners vote Republican or Democrat mostly? What do you think?
It depends on where they live, to be fair.
I really think that they tend to vote Republican because of tax breaks like Trump gave them. You know, nobody else seems to give a shit about the small business owners other than Republicans. Let's be real. They cut regulations, they cut taxes. Your guys want to shut down the entire economy. That's what you want to do, right? You want to shut everything down. That's how you would solve it, right? The government shut it all down now. For how long?
The idea there was originally if you let it sit for approximately 2 months, you could knock most of this out if people were social distancing and wearing their masks. The problem, hold on. The problem, what we're dealing with here, the biggest issue in this country is the division of information from where it's ascertained. Okay, so when you've got people who when you've got Republican governors that are like, I'm not going to shut down the beaches, I'm not going to shut down the tourist destinations, I'm not going to enforce mask wearing or anything else like this, and you have like large swaths of Republicans, like let's say Sturgis, right, which had their bike week, which 230,000 people showed up, and there was a spike, an outbreak that popped up there, and a large number of other gatherings predominantly held by Republicans, in which case you've seen massive spikes as a result of that. Herman Cain, for example, fucking Cain, a politician in this country.
Herman Cain died.
Herman Cain died, exactly. Told, don't need to worry about the masks. I'm going to go there, not wear a mask. He caught COVID. He died like, a week or some change later. I mean, like, there are, my own friend, who I've known for years, died alone in a hospital room because of COVID.
So
because he believed that none of this shit was fucking.
So how did Trump live then? How did Trump live if it's so deadly?
Do you really? Oh my, wow.
How did he live?
Okay.
He's what is
because
he?
Of socialized healthcare.
He's
74. You jackass. Because of socialized healthcare. Yeah.
He's 74 years old.
He is. Obese. That's good.
He's obese.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't he have died if this disease is so deadly that we need to infringe every American's freedom?
But do you not do you not get that he got treatment, experimental treatment, Regeneron that is not available to the average citizen? That he had top tier.
Why is that?
Because he's the president of the United States.
Is that because of regulation that the average consumer?
That's because he's the president of the United States.
The average person can't get it though because of regulations, right? That
because it's not ready for market yet. It's called experimental for a reason. We're not going to release an experimental drug on the market.
Oh, but it's ready for him. See,
but he chose to take it. They offered it, and he chose. I love that. I love this. I love your argument because it makes no sense.
So wait, he has the cure and you guys won't let him give it to everybody? He has the cure, like he says, right? You won't let him give it to people? Is that what you're saying? He has the cure.
It's not that he has, he doesn't have the cure. What he has is treatment. And the treatment worked for him as well as steroids and some I can't even pronounce the other kinds of drugs he was on. And they also fed us bad information about oxygen and all sorts of shit like this. He got shit that the average person wouldn't get. If you got sick and you went to if you got sick and you went to the hospital, they would not give you Regeneron.
Okay.
If your mom got sick and went there, it's not out there.
Whose fault is that? Do you think the Republicans don't want to let that pharmaceutical company make billions? Or do you think it's the Democrats who push regulation that delay these medical advancements? Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Why the average person can't have that drug?
It's not ready yet.
It's not ready yet, but the president took it. It's good enough for the president.
He took an experimental drug. Yes, he opted to take it.
He was cured. He was cured.
He was no, because here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. They actually took an extra week to say that he tested negative. They wouldn't answer if he tested negative. He wasn't cured. He had treatment and he got better. There is a massive difference in the terminology that you are using and the misinformation that you are spouting. There is a massive fucking difference here.
I just want to move on to something with you there. Like, this is the question that I think is the ultimate bottom line on COVID. Would you mandate, once a vaccine comes out, that every American must take it? Would you mandate that?
I would, yes.
You are a slimy piece of shit that wants to destroy everything that America stands for.
Not at all.
If we would trade our freedom for a little temporary security, we deserve nothing. That's Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, I know those. Yes, I know the old quote. I get it.
I know I quoted a lot. But you slime bags like you want to impose your will on the American people through fear and force them to get a vaccine. People like you are disgusting to me, Matt. You are the problem. You are what's wrong.
If you would rather, if you would rather people get sick and die, then that's fine. That's for you to believe. That's for you to believe that they can be entered into the kingdom of heaven or whatever it is that you believe religiously.
Because you don't believe in God, right? Admit you're an atheist. Say it.
I'm agnostic. I'm agnostic. Yeah.
What happens when we die? You don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know. I mean, I believe in life after death. I don't fear death. I don't believe people should live with a fear of death. I don't believe people should live with a fear of illness. If people are going to die, they are going to die. We cannot stop this. We cannot shut down the economy. People are going to die. They're going to starve to death on the street. This is what you want, is to mandate that Americans be forced to put something into their body that they don't want. This is coming from the same group of people who will mandate a woman has complete autonomy over her body when it comes to an abortion. But you don't believe I have autonomy over my body enough to decide whether or not I should have a vaccine. And that's what I think is fucked up, to be honest.
I think that if you are willing to take the shot at infecting someone who has a high comorbidity rate that could potentially die from this because you feel that it's that you have freedom to infect other people, you have freedom to infringe on their rights in that regard, then fuck you. No, because that's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. If you are I'm sorry. So if you contract the virus and you are then going to be communicable, and then you go and you travel around where you are communicable because you don't quarantine for 2 weeks, and then you get other people sick. And that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. They might have been trying to play it safe, but I didn't care about them. I only cared about me. It's selfish. It's selfish, and your God wouldn't like it.
For the rest of our lives, we must all wear masks for fear of giving the flu to an elderly person. They might die, right? For the rest of our lives, we're going to wear masks now. That's the world you want to live in, right? What's the world? Give me your vision. What is the world you want us to live in?
I would like there to be...
All of us wear masks. All of us do.
Once we get the herd immunity, and once we actually get the vaccine and it's going to be like what we take vaccines for right now anyway, right? You can get the flu shot, and that's going to include it in there, and it protects you. There's nothing wrong with getting vaccines. Are you an anti-vaxxer? Are you an anti-vaxxer? Or do you believe that vaccines cause autism?
I believe that a vaccine that's developed in under a year has not gone through anywhere near the level of testing to be considered safe. We've seen people who took the swine flu vaccine in 2009 end up with all sorts of immunodeficiency issues. That's just a fact. I'm not saying vaccines cause people autism. I'm saying that when a vaccine is rushed to market and people take it, sometimes they end up fucked up because we don't have 10 years of...
Did I say...
But you're saying we need to mandate that vaccine on
when it's ready. When it's ready.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
It's not ready. It's not ready.
I apologize. You're breaking up a bit.
Because I'm fucking through. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think I can hear you. Sorry about that, man.
No, it's okay. It gets a little iffy longer you want. What I'm trying...
Shit, what's going on? Fuck, it's breaking up terribly.
I can hear you just fine, so
okay,
I don't...
You can hear me just fine. Okay. look, I've had this problem with you. I don't think we're probably going to solve it tonight because you have your own view of it, which is that we should be mandated to take a vaccine. You know, we have to trust the wise science sages. They know what's best in every situation. They can never be coerced, even though they told us not to wear masks, then changed it to us wearing masks 2 months later, even though they said no restrictions on travel. Now they say we need to lock everything down. You know, it's just crazy to me. But look, man, I'm going to break it down to you. One last thing that we got to talk to you about tonight is whose YouTube account was it, the Ball Pit Therapist? Was it Godwinson's channel?
No, it was Godwinson's channel, but Kraut expressed to me that he was concerned that because he's the one who opened it, that it might revert negatively on his channel.
See, because he hasn't expressed that to me, and he said no, that's bullshit and nonsense.
Because I told him it was bullshit and nonsense. Because it is.
Again, was the channel taken down for hate speech?
I don't know why it was taken down.
It was not taken down for hate speech. It was taken down for deceptive practices and spam. So when you tried to say, well, that's what it says in German. That's what Kraut's got. That's what Godwinson said. So when you try and say it's taken down for the G slur, it's just total bullshit. You're talking out of your ass. You don't know what you're talking about. And the reality of it is it's Godwinson's channel. I said the G slur in an edited video that he asked me for and put in the video because he wanted it in there. So as much as you want to say like, oh, you screwed people over on their platforms, these were edited videos. I didn't impromptu do it. I was asked to do it by the person who was in control of the channel. Kraut gave us the authority to do whatever we want with that channel. He said, Godwinson, you take it. It's yours. So I don't understand why you stick your fucking nose into it and try and put thoughts into Kraut's head about how we're fucking him over. It's just bizarre to me.
I never said you were fucking him over. I simply, because I didn't know that it was flagged down for spam and deceptive practices.
Well, obviously.
So all I said was it could have been that you said the G slur in it, like, and you said a bunch of other things.
Didn't Trelane put in the conversation the reason that it had been flagged down was deceptive practices? Wasn't there a screen cap right above what you said?
I was on my phone, so it's smaller on the phone, so I didn't see that.
I see. We have excuses for ignorance. But my big issue with it is you come in, you say, you use the G slur. That's fucked up. You used other slurs. And so it's not just that you said, oh, he used the G slur. That's why it got taken down probably. You also pointed out he uses slurs in other situations. And the only reason to do that is to try and virtue signal and socially shame me to the other members of that chat, trying to say, this guy isn't morally pure enough to be amongst us. And that's what we're doing.
I didn't say that at all. You ascertained that. That was your interpretation.
That's what you're doing. That's the interpretation that any person would have looking at that. Because only somebody who believes in social justice uses terms like G slur and talks about other people's slurs in this way. This is coming.
If we were, well, hold on. There was a. You had said.
Man who's had Polly the polar bear say the N-word, say that blacks were lazy, say that blacks didn't want to work, but you have the balls to try and come at me with your moral authority. And that's what I reject, is the idea that you have moral authority over me to make judgment calls and shame me. How fucking dare you shame you?
I didn't shame you. I was merely offering up an opinion as to why it might have happened. What the ammunition that the Groiper army would have used against you guys. That was the whole point. But you freaking lost your mind over that, dude. You lost your mind over that.
The Groiper army is going to use me dropping the G slur against us?
Yeah, they would.
How is that going to hurt us in the eyes of those people?
Because they're going to look for any reason. They're going to look for anything to report to take you down.
It's going to separate the Groipers from their base, which are people who would use the G slur. People who'd support the Groipers would use the G slur, Jarbo. And we're pointing out that they're fake, and there are other people who are not fake.
That's fine. I don't care what the intent was. I don't even care that you used it.
You don't get it. You're trying to talk to police, and this is a problem that you've had. This is the problem you've had from the beginning.
See, this is the thing. You are trying to insert intent when I simply was pointing out what could have potentially been the factor for why it got taken down, and why maybe in these situations that may not be the best idea.
bullshit.
No,
You're
that's what I'm talking about. But you got all
you're
righteously indignant about it. All this stuff.
You're talking about the G slur. You're talking about the other slurs. You're trying to make it seem to Kraut as though we're bad optics for him and that he needs to distance himself from Godwinson and he needs to distance himself.
I never said that.
But that's what you're trying to do.
That's not at all what I said. That's not at all what I said.
And if people saw the whole interaction, they would agree with me that that's exactly what you're doing. To be lectured on tact by you is something fucking amazing, buddy. This is the same fucking man who yelled out that he's a soy-filled bitch on the air. Like the
it was a low. It was a low moment in my life. 100%. Yeah, that's the whole point.
The master of planning. You're going to lecture us about how you're a big man. You can get it done. Hey, look, man, if you're going to go fight the Groypers, why don't you go fight them?
Because I'm not interested in fighting the Groypers, but what I know.
You're covering Baked Alaska today, right?
I talked about Baked Alaska, yeah.
But hold on, I thought that Baked Alaska would be nothing. You would never talk about him.
See what I talk about when I say you move the goalpost, PPP? You like to move the goalposts.
I'm not moving the goalposts. I'm moving to a different point.
No, you're not pivoting to a different point. You are simply just talking to hear the sound of your own voice. That's what you're doing right now.
This isn't an academic conversation.
You said the same thing in the chat. I know exactly, because we can't have an actual honest conversation about this, because anytime you get the briefest criticism, you cry about it. Like you're crying about it right now. All I said was maybe on YouTube, which is heavily enforcing terms of service right now for a number of different factors. If you are trying to, that is exactly what I said. Go back and look at what I said.
Go back and look at. That's not what you said.
That's what I said. I said YouTube's terms of service right now.
But you acted out of ignorance and tried to smear me with a bunch of bullshit when, once again, it was Godwinson's channel. I had the authority to post it there.
That's fine.
Put it in an edited video. I just don't understand you trying to question it. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Okay, hold on here. Like, let's take a quick step back because I think we're approaching this from two different angles. What I'm saying is that this content that you guys put up, which I have no issue with the content. I saw the video. I thought it was a good video. What I'm saying here is that you may not have an issue. Hold on, let me finish because you keep over talking me. What I'm saying is that in regards to the YouTube terms of service, when you are going up against an army of people that will flag, that will take down content, they will use anything and everything that they can to use against you. So when you start dropping the G slur in these videos, that could be something. Now, they may have said deceptive practices and spam, but I guarantee you somebody flagged the G slur. That's a thing. So, but you don't know. But
you have no proof of that. You're just making it up. It's
called Occam's razor, and it's called.
That's the simplest solution. This is for hate speech. If the notice was for hate speech, I would agree with you. But the notice was not for hate speech.
Hold on. What
happens? And this happens in a lot of instances. No, you hold on. What happens in a lot of instances is that Nick Fuentes and his goons come in and flag videos down. They've done it before to me in instances where I haven't used racial epithets, where I haven't used offensive language. They come in, they mass dislike, and they flag videos. They've done it to other people as well. They will continue to do it regardless of whether or not we optics cuck. And to optics cuck when we're going against the Groypers would be to undercut our entire point of going against their movement. And so therefore we will not do that. And I do not have to clear my every decision with you, Jarbo. And that's where we get into problems, where you try and control Godwinson. He's had this issue. And now you've tried to tone police and control me. And I'm not.
What have I said to Godwinson that was controlling? I've said nothing to Godwinson that was controlling.
Yeah. I mean, you told him that he needed to give the Vickers interview to you because you were the only one who could handle it.
No, I never said that you needed to give it to me.
You said to him that he was too unprofessional to do that interview. That's what you said. And
I said this is coming off of the fake Vickers interview that you guys did, and the fake other shit. Yeah, but he actually handled himself quite well on that one, and I give him props for it. It was actually a very interesting interview to listen to. What I'm talking about here is the fact that when in the comment you made specifically was that I am almost double your age because you think I'm in my 40s. I'm not. Well, I am almost double. Okay. I'm 38. Okay.
I mean,
so and how? Hold on, Ashton. How old are you?
I am 23.
You're okay. So the difference between the 15 years I have on you is it's called life experience. I've gone to college. I own a home. I have a small business. All right. I have all these things that you haven't done yet. That you haven't done yet.
You don't have a small business.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Channel that's a massive failure, and you drive.
See what I love about again. But the thing is, I have to have a small business. I have to have a small business in order to be able to operate Uber Eats because I'm an independent contractor, and what I do on YouTube is considered a business. So again,
people you have a small business when in reality,
because I do have a small business. I do. Yeah, exactly. It's part of the business. Yes, it is part of it.
Somebody who's unemployed saying they're an entrepreneur. That's honestly what it is.
No, because a person who says that that's unemployed is. See, this is the thing.
I never knew this, and I just want it to be cleared up once and for all. Are the children your biological children? Because a lot of people told me they aren't, and I didn't believe them. Are they your biological children or not? Yes or no?
Absolutely yes. They're absolutely my kids. But again, what we're talking about, again, moving the goalposts. All it is you move the goalpost every time. Every time you move the goalpost.
Look, you have children.
I have children. Yes.
You had a house. So then I looked at those points. I said, he doesn't really have a small business. He can say it is if he wants. And does he really have children? And I'll take your word for the house. And it's good that you own a home, and I'm glad for you in an area where, being a homeowner is difficult for a lot of people there. But the reality of it is, Matt, is that I just don't get it, man. I don't understand why you feel like you need to be in control of this here, why you need to tone police me.
I'm not tone policing you.
I just think that what you did, and it was slimy, you went to Kraut, you said to Kraut, hey, these guys are going to get your main channel banned.
No, that is a lie. Kraut came to me. Kraut came to me.
I've heard something different. So we really need to get Kraut in here to figure this the fuck out. Because I've heard something different from him.
Okay. Kraut, hold on. Kraut, today, 12:16 p.m. I don't have anything to fear my main channel getting fucked through ball pit getting flagged down, right? And I said, no. He said, good, thanks. Then I said, you shouldn't at least. However, I wouldn't give channels to those guys anymore. That's what I did say.
The snake.
But I didn't.
But you wouldn't give channels to them anymore.
I wouldn't give channels to anybody.
You did do it, you greasy fuck you. You did do it.
What exactly? Okay, how is that telling him not to work with you? That's simply telling him to not associate his own channel or his Google account by giving you guys channels. Yeah. And I've said it, and that isn't telling him not to work with you.
That's what you've admitted, and I can't believe you'd admit that.
Because what I told him was simply just because he was afraid that his channel, he was afraid that you guys were going to take down his main channel that he fought back to get. So he was afraid that you guys and your antics were going to take down a channel that he had fought back to get. To pull himself up out of the gutter. That's what he came to me over. That's what he came to me over.
I wouldn't read that into what he said. What I would read into what you said was trying to fuck us over, but you say you don't have a problem with Godwinson or PPP.
I don't have a problem with you.
There you are in the DMs trying to get Kraut to snake on us and fuck us over. And we can only...
Explain to me how. Explain to me how.
Hey, answer me this. What do you think about Vouch? Answer me this. What do you think
I don't care about Vouch. I don't care about Vouch.
You endorse his political opinions and views?
No, I don't know what all of them are.
You disagree with Father Vouch's political views?
I don't watch Vouch's content, so I don't know.
What you were trying to do was to try and kneel down to Father Vouch and try and fuck me and Godwinson over and present these neo-Nazis to Father Vouch so you could do the gay leftist political grift. We can see it in the way you're tweeting constantly about politics, constantly about Trump, that you want to transition into leftist politics. And I think that the fact
I've always been a leftist, PPP. I've always been a leftist. I went to Bernie Sanders' rally in Tacoma. I shook the man's hand. I've been a Bernie supporter since 2015. This is information about me that is very public.
Audition for Father Vouch. Give him the pitch. Why should Father Vouch put you in?
See, this is the thing. You think that I'm trying to get in on that shit. I'm not. I'm not trying to get in on that shit.
Pretend I'm Father Vouch. Tell me why
I don't care about Vouch. I don't care about Vouch. I've never spoken to Vouch. I don't understand what this line of thought.
Tell me why I should forgive the sin of Polly the polar bear. Tell me why you're a good leftist. Why should I?
I don't care if you want to forgive it or not, dude. It was 8 years ago. 8 years
Is
ago.
that what you're going to say to Father Vouch, that it was 8 years ago?
I don't care about Vouch. I don't understand what. See,
is that what you're going to say to him?
I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care about any of that crap.
Man. I don't know, man.
I do not like Donald Trump. I'm very open about that. It's not trying to get in with anyone. I'm not trying to get in with the cool kids. I'm not trying to get in any other fucking group. I don't care.
Fucker. You are a slimy fucker.
I'm really not. I'm really not.
You tried to fuck us with Kraut. You said
no.
I wouldn't let them use your channels anymore. I wouldn't let them use your channels.
If he is so afraid of losing his main channel because you guys put up a video that got flagged down on one he created, then yes, wouldn't the right thing to do
where
to
are the
say
other DMs to support how afraid and how worried he is? Have you had DMs in the past? Have you had DMs in the past where he's expressed this concern to you before?
No, today was the first time.
So you're reading this huge fucking diatribe of what's in Kraut's head based on one single thing.
I have spoken with Kraut a considerable amount in the past 2 years. I have talked with him when his channel went under 100,000 subs and how people were giving him shit for that. And I've talked to him when his channel reached 200,000 subs and he's growing again like crazy. He puts in a lot of work and a lot of effort into his content. He likes to fuck around with you guys. That's very true. And that's fine. And I haven't told him not to do that. But what it is here is when he's worried about something that he's rebuilt, I'm like, dude, just don't give him channels. Like, they can do it themselves. If it's not a problem, use 10minutemail.com or Proton Mail or whatever the fuck. Make a new email, make a new account, and you're good to go.
It's also disingenuous because...
It's not disingenuous. He's worried.
There was no way that was going to blow back on his channel, and you knew that, and I know that, and everyone knows that.
But I'm going to still tell him, I'm still going to give him...
So you admit that not only would his association with us not lead to his channel going down, but that also you told him not to associate with us. But then you say you have no problem with us whatsoever, right?
No, I don't have a problem with you guys. I don't. I honest to God don't. I don't.
It's lunacy. It's
but I'm still not. He came to me, and I'm going to give him my honest opinion on the situation. If he is worried about being associated with you and then losing something he's rebuilt, then I'll just tell him like this. Don't do it. Then I would tell that to anybody.
I don't think he was worried about that. I just don't think he was.
Yeah, because I don't think you've ever. I don't think you've ever had to talk Kraut down. To be honest with you, I don't think you guys have sat there with him in voice chats for a couple hours talking him down on. I'm not going to go into specifics because that's his story.
You tell me about how you talked him down. Did you save him from killing himself, or is that what you're saying?
No, because there's times where he gets very manic, and there's a lot of people that I can go to that we've been in calls with him when he gets really manic, and we've talked him down. And a lot of things because he's got good friends that he talks to all the time. It's not just you and Godwinson. A lot of other people have spent a lot of time talking to Kraut and getting him to not do something stupid or to go after someone the way that he feels would be distracted.
You're Kraut's tard wrangler. You're saying you tell Kraut.
No, I wouldn't call it a tard wrangler. It's someone who is.
That's what you're saying. Like that's what you're saying is that he goes off the handle. You have to control him. You have to tard wrangle him, right?
A long time ago. But I know him pretty well, and we've talked very often in the last couple of years because he was the one person to pull me out of that shit show with Ralph. He was DMing me to get into his group to talk to his friends that helped me get through that situation. And so when Kraut comes to me and he is afraid, he is worried about something, as his friend, I'm going to give him the best advice that I can give. And if you think that means I'm not trying to tell him to not work with you, all I'm saying is like just don't give him a channel. That's it.
So if Kraut made a channel. Right, and he gave it to Godwinson tomorrow, and I dropped the G slur, and that channel got taken down. Would Kraut lose his main channel? Yes or no?
No, he probably wouldn't.
Exactly.
He probably wouldn't. But let me ask you this though: why do you need him to make a channel? Why do you guys always need to go and get somebody else's dead channel? Why do you never just make it yourself? Like this is the thing. You care.
If somebody offers a channel,
because you can't keep a channel. Have you ever thought that there's maybe a reason? There's reasons why you guys can't keep
Why?
channels.
Because big tech is run by people who are fucked up and wish to censor other
No,
people.
it's just
Yeah,
it's
that's
because you don't
why.
want any responsibility. You just don't want any responsibility. It's what it really boils down to here.
So this is a job then. The internet is a job. And
No, it's not a job.
that you have to take seriously. It can't just be a hobby that I do for fun. And if I get banned tomorrow, so what? That's what you're saying,
if you get
right?
banned tomorrow, somebody else will just give you another channel. But God forbid you actually attempt to, hold one yourself. I don't know. You guys run through channels left and right. You guys run through channels left and right all the time.
So Godwinson, the reason Godwinson takes down his channels is because he believes that when he's done making videos for a period of time, he doesn't want people to sit there waiting for a video to come out that never's going to come. So if he's done for 3-6 months, which happens a lot with him, he'll delete the channel. Now, in my particular instance, I've never actually deleted a channel, but I've been banned a few times. And a few of those bans really have come from Ethan Ralph and Groypers flagging my videos for bullshit reasons. Now, some of them have come for legitimate reasons, like nudity and things like this. But for you to sit there and think that you know everything there about us and the way we operate our channels is ludicrous, because you don't know fuck all. You don't know shit. And you just keep exposing your ignorance again and again and again. Like when you didn't realize that the channel wasn't taken down for hate speech, and then you mouth off about the G slur.
I was offering up an idea as to maybe what they used as a metric of flagging.
So,
and then you lost your mind on that one and kept coming after me again with hyperbole, with nonsense.
What other slurs did I say on that channel?
Dude, the one that stuck out to me was clearly the G slur, but you swear a lot. And again, YouTube right now is starting to crack down.
So you can't swear anymore. That's what you advocate for, is a YouTube where we can't swear, where we have to cut to the terms of service.
No, fuck that shit. I fucking love swearing. I have no issue with swearing.
Exactly. So stop being full of shit. Like,
oh my God,
if the rules are fucked up, I'm not going to follow the rules.
Dude,
if the rules are fucked up, why would you follow the rules?
I just find it to be hysterical that it's like you again, zero responsibility on your end. I just find it to be really funny. Because it's a responsibility. Yeah, it's a responsibility issue.
It's a YouTube channel, dude. You're fucking retarded. It's a YouTube channel.
It's a YouTube channel that was created by a friend who gave it to you, who got flagged down because you guys were going. And again, I'm not against your crusade here.
So
like,
when Godwinson,
all I'm saying.
So yeah, I mean, again, take that up with Godwinson. He's the one who put that video up, who thought it was good enough. You don't think it is. You think that you need to be the final editor of what we can put out.
No,
right?
I don't care.
You have to be the final editor.
No, oh my God. See, I love this again.
That's what you're saying. Like, you have to be the arbiter of what we can and can't say.
That's not at all what I have said or ascertained. All I've put out there is just like, hey, maybe this is a reason why. And that's it.
You are virtue signaling.
And no, I'm not virtue signaling.
That's what you were doing.
If I was virtue signaling, wouldn't I go on? I'd go on Twitter and I'd be like, oh, those PPP and Godwinson, they went out there and they said the G slur and tag YouTube in it and they're going to take them down.
You go on Twitter every day and pump out your bullshit leftist social justice agenda, trying to virtue signal to other people so they'll let you into BreadTube. That's what you're doing.
See, I love how you think you know what I'm up to. When you guys are pretty transparent, but I love it. Anyway, Hondo here, $5, because I agree with him. He says, if Ball Pit Therapist email is the same as Kraut's main channel's email, then both would get banned. It's just sound advice. This is Kraut's living, which is true.
But that's not what the situation was. And again, it was Kraut who made the decision to give the channel. He didn't have to give the channel. He wanted to help Godwinson. And so that's why he gave him the channel. You seem to have some twisted conception in your mind where we've Jedi mind tricked Kraut into associating with neo-Nazi evil, right? Like, that's what you think's happened here, right? We've Jedi mind.
Are you like, are you stoned right now? Are you drunk at all? Like, I'm just curious about your mental facilities, because you keep trying to go to these extreme places that are in no way related to what I've been saying or talking about, and you do this because you're trying to change. You're trying to pivot. Because I'm not lying at all. I didn't tell him not to work with you. I said just don't give you guys a channel.
Full of shit. Like, everything you say is full of shit. You say you don't have a problem with us, but you told Kraut not to associate with us, not to give a channel. I mean,
that's not the same. Again, you are trying to argue that I am telling him not to work with you when that's not at all what I said.
You've been caught out. You've been caught out.
I haven't been caught out. I haven't been caught out at all because you are trying to argue something that simply doesn't exist. You are trying to say that I told him to disassociate from you, which I did not do. I just said don't give him a channel. Don't give him a channel. You guys clearly have people lining up around the block to give you channels they're not using anymore. You can't make any yourself because for some reason email is beyond your grasp of technology, and so you need other people's channels, and so you get that. And so you can go and do that with other people. It's not a problem. So then it shouldn't be an issue at all.
If somebody offers the channel, should we not take it? When Kraut offers the channel, should we just say no?
By all means, take it.
It's perfectly fine. I don't see what your issue is. Why you've decided today to fucking come in with this bullshit about slurs, like as though you're like this moral king that's never used a slur. It's just crazy to me, and I just don't respect you.
I don't use, I'll tell you this, I haven't used that word. Like, I think I haven't said it at all in any context. And fuck, I can't even tell you. It's a word it caught me off guard when you said it because it's not a word I hear, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it caught me off guard. The thing is,
it was effective.
Yeah, sure, fine. You want to call Michelle Malkin the G slur? That's your own deal, man. I don't care about that. Again, as I pointed out, I don't care that you said the word. I don't care that on Baked Alaska's stream, they keep paying for Keemstar to say the N-word over and over and over again. It's funny. It's stupid, right? But he's going to end up getting busted and getting booted for having that. And the thing is, if he gets booted off of YouTube, banned again, someone could then report that to Streamlabs, and Streamlabs has an interesting feature or a policy about if you're banned from YouTube, they might ban your Streamlabs. Okay.
It's interesting how you know all this shit, you know, like because you're the expert flagger, like you love to take people down.
I know I don't take people down, but I did a fair amount of research when I had to.
Okay.
So no, because I was being accused of everything left and right, so I looked into things left and right to get an understanding. Because no, I didn't do it, but I was going to understand what people were trying to say.
Yeah, you didn't flag those people just like you didn't try and snake with Kraut on me. I mean,
no. 2 years ago, I flagged people. That's been proven 100%. Yeah, but no, I wasn't snaking on.
You have a consistent pattern of behavior of lying to make yourself look better, and then you expect people to believe your lies.
You can believe or not believe, but you have in this conversation, you have shifted the goalpost so many fucking times.
Okay, I've shifted the goalposts. I admit I've shifted the goalposts. What now?
So
what's your next step in your master plan if I admit I shifted the goalposts?
What's funny about you shifting the goalpost is I've already known you've done that. You did that in the chat today, but now the entire chat here is seeing it, and the whole chat's dunking on you as a result of this. They're dunking on you.
I don't know, Jarbo. I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know about that, pal. Look, the reality of it is, I think that you're full of shit when you say that the blood is on Trump's hands with coronavirus.
Not at all we were talking about earlier, but okay.
Hold on, I'm hitting the 2 points that I had, and then I think we're pretty much done here. The 2 points, I think you're full of shit when you say that the blood's on Trump's hands, that he killed those people. I think that that's fucking ridiculous. And I think that, again, today you acted in a fucking snaky, very like social justice man of the cloth, emperor of who can say what and who can't way.
At no point did I say that. At no point did I say that. You took a slight bit of criticism and you turned it into this mountain, this Mount Everest-sized mountain that has damaged your ego to the point of where you're here screaming. It's 5:30 or it's 3:30 in the morning where you are right now, and you're screaming at me on the internet because you were mad that I said that maybe saying the G slur wasn't that good of an idea, and you treat that as if it's some kind of tone policing, pro censorship thing that I didn't say at all. No, it's not.
You're an authoritarian. You're an authoritarian. You're an authoritarian who wants to mandate that people take vaccines. You want to control the way I speak, and I'm not going to stand for it, and I'm not going to bow down to you and your whims. And nobody has to. And the fact that you act as though, but then you also at the same time, try and act as though you're better than Kraut. You know better than him. You know what he should do. You say you talk him off of ledges, and I just think it's all fucking bullshit. And you're a fake motherfucker.
You can believe it all you want, but you don't know the first fucking thing about. No, it's not the truth. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. You want to make up these. It's not.
It's totally the truth, Jarbo. You're
It's
totally
absolutely not the
bullshit.
truth, because I'll tell you this.
You absolutely have a problem with us. You've tried to have a problem with us today. You've been exposed for having a fucking problem. And I think you're fucked up, man. That's my opinion.
I think you guys are children, to be honest. And I think that you have I think you have an effective method when dealing with morons. And that's good.
Like you.
No, because nothing you have said tonight has done anything.
Holy shit.
Nothing you have said tonight has even remotely pushed any kind of needle forward or anything else. All you've done is just run around in this massive circle like a dog trying to chase its own tail. That's all you're doing. That's all you're ever capable of doing, PPP. That's it.
No one watches.
I don't care. I don't care.
There's no need.
I don't care, PPP. See, do you think? But see, here's the thing. The difference between me and you is I don't care about the numbers. You seem to care an awful lot about the numbers. You seem to care an awful lot about stream sniping Ralph and getting more people watching him because it gets under his skin. I don't care about that. I haven't cared about that in a long fucking time. I love it because
it's your small business, right? It's your small business.
My small, yes, it is my small business.
So you don't care about your small business.
No, I see. Again, you're trying to push
I've just
a different argument.
Pointed out reality.
You're not pointing out because you're not pointing out the reality of it. You're trying to make an argument that's disingenuous and doesn't make any sense.
What's the disingenuousness there?
Because what I do is I do YouTube, whether it's good or whether it's bad, and that is expenses that come out. The money that I earn, I'm taxed on, and I get it right off a percentage of my expenses because I'm a small business. It's actually a proper business move to be a business, to be registered as a business in my state because of the tax exemptions that I get as a result. This is what you don't understand because you don't have life experience.
So you do care about
I care about putting out. I don't care.
It was another lie.
See, again, I'm explaining to you how life works, and then you're trying to turn it into a wholly different argument. This is what I say when I say you don't have life experience. You don't understand. Okay. You don't understand. You just simply don't understand. That's why earlier I just said, yes, okay, you're younger. You're younger. No. PPP, listen.
You think that President Trump could have made it so no one died. You put the blood on his hands, and it's fucking sad. You don't understand reality.
No, I understand reality just fine. I may have my own shit takes. Believe me, I'm aware of that. And that's fine. I have my own takes where I operate from emotion and not fact.
Your shit takes are evidence of you not understanding reality. When you say shit like that Trump should have been saying we should have been wearing the masks from day one, but that we should have also trusted the scientists from day one. When the scientists were telling us not to wear a mask.
Again, you are absolutely misattributing situations. You are misattributing situations by lying through omission, and that's what you're doing right now. Yes, we've already gone over this. We have already gone over this. You are literally a dog chasing its own tail. Like, I just want to go get you a squeak toy in order to calm your autism. Just squeak, squeak, squeak. Just get your attention and then throw the ball so maybe you'll go to bed. Because PPP, listen, dude. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Half the goddamn. You are great. No, listen, you are very good. You are very good at triggering morons. You are very good at triggering morons. Because you are very good at that because you come at it from a particular perspective, but you're only effective so far. You're only effective to a point.
Everybody is only effective to a point.
Yes, exactly.
What sort of criticism is this? It's just retarded. I mean, the reality of you is your limitations are massive. You have no talent. You have no
fine.
charisma.
That's your opinion. That's great.
You're near 40 years old.
Yep.
You have legitimately no skills because you work at fucking Uber Eats. Well, what skills do you have? Tell me about your resume there. YouTuber.
Well, I've done, let's see here. I got a degree in video production, so I can do a lot of that. I do know a thing or two about audio production. There are some local stations I can work at. There are nonprofits I can work at.
Why aren't you working there? Why aren't you working there?
Because I choose at this point to be able. I'll tell you exactly why. So for me right now, I choose.
You have a choice. I don't.
No, I absolutely have a choice because I have two daughters that I look after during the day while my girlfriend is at her office job. I'm allowed to do YouTube in the afternoon when they go to sleep, and in the evening
You're allowed?
I am able to do.
You're allowed.
I'm able to provide.
You're allowed to do.
See, what I love about this.
You're not the man of the house. You're not.
See, again, I'm raising my children in the daytime when they go down for their nap because I provide them with attention when they're awake. But when they go down for a nap is when I get my work done, or in the middle of the night like it is right now.
It's fine. I'm just busting your balls.
No, the whole point is that you're trying to argue that I don't have any accomplishments.
I'm just busting your balls, buddy. Like,
so no,
about
but
that shit in particular. Like, but you said that you're allowed, and I just think that that's funny. You know, instead of just saying, "Oh, I do YouTube I'm allowed to do YouTube in the afternoon because your wife runs your show." Like,
nah, she doesn't. But
oh, she doesn't. So you run her show. You're the alpha male, right?
No, I'm at home in the daytime when she's at work, and then she takes over in the evening. It's called a partnership. This is this is a partnership. This is what, again, when I talk about life experiences, this is what I'm talking about. So I hope one day little PPPs are running around somewhere. I don't know, showing their butthole to whatever the internet's going to be at that point in time. And that you understand what it's like to raise children. It's going to be really funny. It's going to be even funnier when Ralph does it, because that's going to be something we all can laugh at.
Well, I don't know. I think Ethan Ralph's a good man. I don't know what your issue
what the fuck is up with that? What the fuck is up with that? Oh God, pulling out the Coach Red Pill laugh. Jesus Christ. You fucking weirdos. I swear to God. Anyway.
Oh shit, man. Oh man. All right, Jarvo, what do you got for me? Let's wrap this up.
I was just gonna say, because I've been on for 2:45. I try to keep this about 2 hours. I'm on past my bedtime. But no, I mean, look, all I'm saying, end of the conversation about the YouTube thing is just like, they are enforcing terms of service now in ways that are generally not perceived as being fair, because of everything we've seen with the advertisers pulling out and COVID and the crackdown on creator harassment. They are very much cracking down in a number of ways. So this kind of thing is just ammo that these guys can use to take the videos down, which I think is as just my personal take, it's an ineffective approach to a long-term, plan. But you guys seem to think differently, and that's totally fine. Go, by all means. The Michelle Malkin video was funny. I thought it was really funny and it was good. And I'm like, cool. More things like that are great. So that's just my only little criticism on the whole process, was simply that.
It seemed to me to be a bit more than that, especially when you get into the DMs where you're telling Kraut not to give us a channel, stuff like this. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to have a talk with Kraut. You can have a talk with him. I just want to get to the bottom of what the truth is. If Kraut was really concerned, I wish he had brought that concern to me. He never brought that concern to me. And so I'll figure it out with him. But I just think that some of the shit that you did there was very snaky. And the whole G-slur thing, just using the term G-slur instead of just using the proper term, which is goop, by the way, goop is
I'm aware of what the word is, and as I pointed out, jokes I've made privately in that group have been leaked out. So I have to cover my own ass. So I'm covering my ass.
Who gives a shit if somebody saw you quoting me as saying gook in the chat?
That's not a word I use. Not a word I use normally. I don't use the N-word. I really don't.
The biggest difference between me and you, and this is where I'm going to leave it, man, is I would never self-censor myself like that, where in a private conversation, instead of saying what I want, I say what the authority wants me to say, because I'm afraid of being hurt by that authority. And I think that that's the biggest difference between me and you. Maybe it's because you have a lot more to lose in your life now. I don't know, but I just wouldn't do that. You would. So
you're 23, I'm 38, and yes, you're right. I have a lot more to lose, and there's things I've already lost. So there's a lot more that I have in regards to my own personal experience that you haven't gotten to yet. And I hope to one day that you will.
I don't know, man. I would never censor myself in a private conversation like that. You do you, man. But I just feel like that's giving
enough of my private correspondences have been leaked out. So I play it safe. I play it safe.
Even in public, just say what you want to say.
I don't say those kind of things anyway. I really don't. I really don't.
Clearly.
I have said things. Yes, I've.
I mean, you said that black people were lazy, that they didn't want to work jobs, all this sort of thing. But then you take the moral high ground. I just think it's fucked up. Like, if somebody shows their asshole, I'm not going to go, "Oh, motherfucker showed his asshole. Holy fuck!" It's the same thing.
Yes, but hold on. The polar bear video, was it me saying that, or was it the polar bear saying that for the attempt to be offensive humor? And since you. And that's my own personal mistake, in my opinion, for having done that, because I thought back in 2012 things were a lot edgier, and they were, and a lot more things were allowed to get through because they were. Now we're not in that world anymore.
Well,
And that's a reality I have to live in.
Think that's a shame, and I refuse to accept it.
That's fine.
If that means I get banned, then so be it. Again, this is not my job. This is not my business like it is for you. And so I guess you take things way more seriously than me there. But I just got to say, I just didn't like the way you approached it there today. And I just haven't liked the political shit that you've been putting out. Again, we have different political views. And I wanted to approach you on that. I just think that it's fucking nuts that you would put the blood on every single leader's hands. And I think you even said that President Trump should be executed, didn't you? Or you said Obama should, or go to jail.
No, I said Obama should be charged with war crimes for the death of 180,000 Iraqi civilians, mostly due to drone strikes.
Good. I agree with that opinion. But your take is that even though Trump personally killed the 200,000, he should face no repercussions.
No, what I'm saying is that the repercussion should be being voted out. The mismanagement of COVID should cost him his position, and I think it should cost the senators their positions and the representatives their positions and anyone who fucked around with this thing. Because
so should Nancy Pelosi lose her?
Oh, I want her out 100%. Hell yeah, I want her. Chuck Schumer too. All of them gone.
What about AOC?
I like AOC, but fuck it, gone. I would rather there be a refresh, to be honest with you. Like if we could find a way.
The first smart thing you fucking said all night, to be honest.
I say a lot of smart things. You should listen more carefully.
You say a lot of smart things. Don't ever use smart with me, Jarbo. Not with you, Jarbo. Not with you. Oh, fuck there. I'm doing like the Fuentes, like aping Trump shit there.
All right. Go get the fuck out of here, because apparently Surfer wants to go to bed because he's in the chat bitching.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Okay. See you, buddy. I'll see you, man. Have a good one. All right. I know. Is Zoom here? Damon, are you still? Or Animance, are you still here?
Oh yeah, I'm here, man. Oh my god.
I can. Wow. Oh my god. There's a lot of fucking chats here. Holy shit.
Look, that was one of the stupidest motherfuckers I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. Look, you know what? I really don't like this idea that someone can actually think, okay, well, if I have someone who I'm talking to is a leftist, they literally all agree on everything that's ever existed. Most fucking leftists agree that Nancy Pelosi's a stupid piece of shit and should be voted out of office. That goes without saying. Seriously, like, I can't believe every time that dude opened his fucking mouth, I had a new thing that I wanted to fucking say to them. Oh my god. That was one of the stupidest interactions I've ever seen you had on this show before. How did you deal with talking to that dude for like 20 fucking minutes?
I think it was a lot longer than 20 minutes.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you this, it's weird. I kind of hit this like weird kind of like Zen mode when I do this show.
Yeah.
I just go, okay. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm not high. I'm perfectly sober. I just kind of hit this weird Zen place where I'm like, all right, like, because I also know that when it comes to PPP, I know what his tactics are. Because he wants to rile me up, and and I know he's doing it to be like for a comedic effect,
sure,
and everything. I'm just like
fucking stupid, and that's the thing too. It's like it was just constant fucking straw men nonstop. Like, okay, this is what the mainstream liberal believes, so this is what you believe, right, Matt? Like, where I'm gonna voice this opinion on you nonstop. I don't believe it. I can't even believe that you had to come out and state that you wanted Nancy Pelosi like voted out of office. If he actually listened to your fucking stream for more than 5 seconds, then he would have known that you're not that type of person. You're not just a vote blue no matter who type of person. And even people who feel that way do not like Nancy Pelosi. They want her replaced.
I mean, I definitely felt that way this year, but I was like, it was a very contentious whole thing, Sure. I'm like, I feel like I don't hate conservatives, to be honest with you. I don't. I think that there needs to be a balance between both. I don't want an entire left-wing government. I think the pendulum is going to swing that way, if I'm being honest, because that's kind of how these things work. But I want there to be, I want there to be more even keel, because I think the conservatives keep the liberals in check and the liberals keep conservatives in check. But what we've been seeing is like this massive misuse of information and predominantly coming out of the right more so than the left. The left, though, they lack balls. They lack spines. That's why I like progressives. You know, like if you started getting progressives into Congress, like AOC is a progressive and she takes fucking scalps, dude. She fucking takes scalps.
Yeah.
And she knows how this shit works out really well. You get like someone like, you know, you get a hardcore progressive in there, like a ballsy progressive, and you're just going to see the fucking Democratic Party cuck, because they cucked to AOC too, right? And they were going to cuck to Bernie if Bernie was still going to be running the show, which I still think he got fucked over for the second
Oh,
fucking
100%.
term.
Yeah, the established candidates all ganged up on
They
him.
all ganged up on him. They all dropped. I know. What I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it.
Oh no,
It's a big fucking thing for me because, you know, I mean, it is that. But yeah, I would rather there be like you know, moderate conservatives and moderate liberals. The far side of each fucking group pisses me off. So I fucking hate both of them.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need something to change in this country where both sides are actually getting more productive shit going. First of all, we need both sides to actually be more different than they are now, because as it is, the establishment candidates coming out of both sides are pretty much both center-right fucking demagogues who are just going to serve whatever the billionaires want, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I don't get, because honestly, 100%, I've just been bitching nonstop in the chat to this guy. I don't know if you noticed it until now, but I've bitched literally for 30 minutes. I want a one-on-one debate with you. I don't know if you're still listening, PPP. If you're fucking listening, I want a one-on-one fucking debate with you. I want to have a conversation, because I feel like you did a good job, Matt. I genuinely do feel like you did a good job, but there were just so many like rapid fire. Like you could tell whenever this dude was in the wrong, they just kept talking and he just kept shouting over you, because that's what stupid people do to try and sound smarter. So they just talk louder, right? I mean, I don't know if that's just me, but
that is something that people will do. I don't want to say people who lack intelligence, but it is a viable tactic. If
100%.
you know, it's like it's so weird because doing the census and getting yelled at by people, I had to kind of like navigate conversations. I had one Trump supporter. She was like refusing every single person that would show up, right? She would say no, 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 no. And like just, I mean, my case notes were just full of her refusing people. So one day I went over there and I had already been over there once before. And I pulled up in the driveway and she just comes out. She's like, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm going to keep coming back. I'm just going to keep coming back. I'm like, why don't you work with me here? And we talked for a few minutes and I kind of asked her like some leading questions and I got the info. I'm like, let me just ask you a couple very quick questions and you can be very surface level of it. And then I'm like, okay, she's like, okay, you can ask me too. And I said, okay. And I asked her and then I snuck in a third one in there and then a fourth. And she's like, you sneaky son of a bitch. And I'm like, I just got two more to ask you. And she's like, what? And I'm like, all right. And she gave me the info. I said, thank you. That's all I need. And I'll see you in 10 years, you know? And then she was like, you little motherfucker. The thing is, most people, they just want to be heard in general.
100%.
My approach to things probably does rub people the wrong way. I will fully admit, like people who are predominantly emotional, I tend to sometimes lack that. Right. But for some reason, interestingly enough, like politics makes me emotional. I get really angry when it comes to certain things. Like tonight on Twitter, I was bitching about James O'Keefe and because I fucking hate the guy. I don't know what the fuck that was, but you know, so there's all that shit. And then it's like, you know, but I get passionate about that, but for the most part, I just try to let it kind of like, you know, walk off and shit. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I came in here drunk as a fucking skunk and
That's
I'm so pissed off at that guy. Honestly, I want that one-on-one debate. I don't know if we'll be able to make it happen on this show. I'm sure this dude's listening right now because he's probably listening back to the video because he loves the sound of his own voice, because that's literally what 70% of the conversation was. I don't know if you noticed that as much as I did, but it was literally just the dude. He already knew what he was going to say after your response. It didn't matter what your response was because he was going to say the same thing anyway. It was just him spouting off. It was like literally you talking to a fucking wall. Yeah, I want that debate. I want your bitch ass to debate me. If you seriously think that you have a case against Matt, then come have a conversation with me too.
Well, that's why I didn't want to bring you on. Because I saw you. The reason why is because of that. Is because for one, it's like it's not going to be any bit productive.
I would have just yelled at him, yeah.
And he would have yelled back. It would have become this massive yelling match and all this stuff. So it would have been a bigger issue, all these things. But okay, I've been on for 3 hours. I have to wrap this thing up here
Good
very
night, man.
quickly.
I'm not going to keep you on it.
Yeah, there's 2 more people that have been waiting. I want to get to them real quick, and then I did just see we saw one last person pop up, but if they can't come back till I'll be on probably tomorrow night.
All right.
So there's that. But all right, dude, go get some fucking sleep because I know it's late for you.
Good night, man.
All right, I'll see you later, buddy. Have a good one. Okay, thank you very much, Animancer. Real quick, I just want to say this here. Hondo says Matt has seen the worst of trolls. He's not going to get upset over PPP insulting him. Matt's been doxxed, swatted, had his bosses called, family harassed, his reputation ruined, and he still walked it off. Yeah, sure, for the most part. Sure. There's times I get pissy, but it is what it is. And then Kino says here, you never know what's going to happen on Boulder Talk Radio, which is so true. All right. Okay. Real quick. Okay. So, John, are you still awake or?
Oh, I'm here, Matt. How you doing?
Okay. I'm good.
I have a curiosity joke for you.
Okay.
First of all, I'm pretty sure that Rush Limbaugh is not leaving that microphone until basically they cart him off in a gurney. And well,
that sucks.
Oh yeah, I'm just wondering if he actually coughs up a lung before he goes. That's what I wonder.
I don't know. I think he should retire, but he won't. He probably won't, man.
No, he's wrapped around that mic, so he's not going anywhere for a while. So, that was the joke, believe it or not.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to say, or is that just your only? You waited for 2 hours for just like.
Well, I mean, people are finally figuring out that that fascism is already here, and people don't understand that fascism is the synthesis of government and private business. That's been going on for a long time. I do like progressives because they're anti-corporation, but the rest of them are, so that's the big, I don't know if it's ever going to get fixed easily, but, no, I've forgotten everything else I wanted to talk about. I just got my mind wiped by PPP, it's like, gee, trying to follow.
That's okay. I'm just looking through, that's all right, dude. It's all right. Well, then I'm going to let you go. So for the next time, if this happens, just write it down and then just have it there. Because that's a tactic a lot of people use to be like, oh, I think even Kira, because he's still in the back room.
Oh, I posted the 5 means of lying in the chat. You may want to look at it, but it's
in the private chat or in the
public chat.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to see that. That's going to be forever. So.
Oh yeah, but there's 5 methods of it. I don't know if you want to know what they are, or.
Well, not right now because I'm kind of tired.
I'll do it on another day.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it another time. All right. Thanks for coming on in, John.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye. All right, Kira. I see you're back on. Let's make this super quick because I would like to go.
We really will, and I promise you, Matt. And I will not debate anything that you have to say about this. I just want to know how you feel like the fact they're doing prevention interruptions, for the second and final presidential debate.
Oh, I think we mentioned that earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed it earlier.
I'll quickly recap. So I'm okay with it. The problem with it is that if there's one slip up, it's going to end up being super bad. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I probably wouldn't do it myself, but there's no other way to moderate it without that being without that being the issue.
Do you think those plexiglass things actually make a difference, or they're just kind of BS? Because
I know they're trying to have them make a difference. So
okay,
they're trying. We'll have to wait and see if it actually has any kind of impact or not. But I don't know.
All right. Well, one last thing. Could you actually recommend something for me to watch as a horror movie? I could recommend one to you right now.
Yeah. I just watched. Well, no, we already talked about Ready or Not. What's another good one that's out there?
Well, as much as I hate fucking Tonka Saw, They Live is still a pretty good one.
Yeah, well, They Live is amazing. It's not a horror though; it's like a sci-fi thriller.
Well, it's kind of a horror in the sense of bad stuff is happening. And every time I watch it, it's like all I can see is just, that's stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it, dude. I get it, man.
But
I
I can get another one though easily.
if you're looking, there's a movie I really liked. It's called The Collector, and that came out I think around 2009 or 2010.
Who's it with?
I don't know. It doesn't have any big actors in it. I know Madeline Zima is in it. She played like the youngest daughter in The Nanny.
Madeline Zima. Okay, so what
It's
year?
called,
What year?
It's I think 2009 or 2010. It's called The Collector. Basically, the idea is that you've got a family that is renovating their house, and one of the guys working on it is a jewel thief, and so or just a thief, and so he sees that they've got some valuables, so he decides to sneak back into the house and rob it. Well, the only problem is when he breaks into the house, there is basically Jigsaw from the Saw movies is in there. It's a guy who creates all these traps in the house and shit. It's fucked up. It's a good fucking movie, but it fucked up.
I'll definitely check it out, man. I mean, you saw what I said about Would You Rather. I mean, maybe you might check that out someday.
I've heard of it. Yeah, there's a lot that I got to watch. I mean, I don't know if anyone here is anyone here seen like Ready or Not?
Yes, because that's what we were talking. That's
Yeah,
what I was
yeah.
reading
Well, the
earlier.
reason why I say this because like I want to get into doing like just movie chat with my friend, and so like obviously looking for because we're going to talk about The Hunt next week.
His name's Mark Dixon, correct?
Yeah. He was the co-host, the co-star, actually this star in
I thought that was a great conversation. I enjoyed
we've been friends for a
podcast.
very long time. If you can't tell, we've been friends for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, and it was a very good, casual conversation. Yeah.
And that's my whole point with doing it. Did you see my movie?
No, I have not seen any of your actual films.
Yeah.
I would like to, but I didn't want to, spit in your face or something like that. You know what I mean?
You can. It's pretty shitty. All right, I posted a link for it in the chat right there. You can watch it at 72 minutes. It's available for free.
All right, excellent.
It's called In Search of ISO-themovie.com. I hear Beatnik here says It Follows was pretty good. And then Phantom Organization says Would You Rather is a very bad movie. Don't watch it.
Well, I would say that it's not a pleasant movie to watch, but it has, let's say, Sasha Grey.
Sasha Grey?
Yes, that's Sasha Grey, the dad from Home Alone 2, or not Home Alone, but all of the Home Alones. It also has
I haven't seen Sasha Grey in a long time.
It has Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys.
Sorry, now I'm just thinking about Sasha Grey. So
well, it has a bunch of weird fucking actors, and it's a horror film. Like I said, that it's not a horror comedy. Like you're gonna have to like sort of grit your teeth at some points when it comes to watching this kind of stuff. And you said that you don't really like that kind of thing, so I can understand why you would not want to watch it.
Yeah, again, I'm looking at photos of Sasha Grey. So
right.
You popped it in my head this late. No,
right.
and their thing is then they're just so the chat knows. They're non-nude. Right. They're non-nude. They're just her photos of Sasha. I haven't seen Sasha Grey in like forever, so I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, yeah, it's not her bent over a toilet, so let's just kind of be.
But with Sasha Grey, it would be her bent over the toilet, licking the inside of the toilet bowl. That's the kind of stuff she normally would do. I'm not into that sort of thing. It's not my particular issue, but I haven't seen her in a while.
Well, yeah, and let's not get too particular about this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, Lake Mungo. They're talking about Lake. I've heard about Lake Mungo. So let's see here. Yeah, there's some good crazy films. If you guys are looking for an interesting point of view found footage movie, there's one you can get it for free, and it's okay to download it. Go on torrent sites and look up The Tunnel. It's a 2011 Australian point of view found footage movie
Mhm.
where they financed it under the guise that they were going to be releasing
See-
it on torrents for free.
Okay, sorry. Movie Man 175 said The Babysitter, and I was talking about The Babysitter too. That's another
Yeah,
Samara
that's one
movie.
I gotta watch. That's one I gotta watch. Yeah, so I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
It's finding the time. It's finding the time. I can maybe fit in like if it's easier movies to watch or ones my kids can watch. You know, so
Well,
it's like watching
right,
Wolf
yeah.
Creek or Wolf Creek 2. I've seen Wolf Creek. I liked Wolf Creek. So you see Wolf Creek 2 is better. That's cool. I'll have to like those are hard ones to get the hard ones to jump into because I
Yeah.
just yeah. Well, if I was done with Boulder Talk by midnight, which is what I want to do, then I could be done. I could be watching a movie before bed, so I could do that. But
Well, right, absolutely, Matt. And I don't want to be a pain in the ass because I mean I saw the review of Ready or Not, and I had my own thoughts about that, and there were things that I wanted to come in with.
well, yeah, but we can also save it
no.
for over there too. We can also save it for over on $3 Theater. That's fine too.
All right. Well, just one simple thing. Do you think Samara Weaving is a discount Margot Robbie?
No, I don't, because we brought that up in the conversation. I think Samara Weaving is better than Margot Robbie, and I like Margot Robbie, but I say Samara Weaving is better than Margot Robbie because of Ready or Not, of Bill and Ted, and Guns Akimbo, just different types of movies playing different types of characters.
All right, that's all that I really wanted to know, man.
Yeah,
That's
and I respect it. I respect it.
That's all that I wanted to know.
All right.
I didn't want to keep you up.
Okay.
Okay, man.
All right.
I appreciate your answer. Thank you.
Sure,
very
man. Thanks for
much.
coming on. All right. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you later, man.
Have a
good one.
great one, man.
Thank you. All right, bye. Whew, what a night. What a night. Oh my God. So this was a fun one, guys. This is what happens on Boulder Talk. It's all right. We had like 90 people watching. It spiked when PPP jumped on, obviously. So I appreciate that. What I just want to say as you wrap this thing up is, it's growing. People are enjoying the content. They're enjoying the show. It's small, but it doesn't need, for me, it doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be huge. It's comfy, cozy stuff. And I appreciate everyone who listens. I appreciate everyone who comments. And I appreciate people who just want to hang out with it. So that's going to be, I think, it for tonight. I'm going to have to quickly download this episode and then re-upload it to the podcast. Boulder Talk Radio, anchor.fm/Boulder Talk Radio. I don't know why people want it on there too, so I'm trying to be accommodating. And of course, I'll be back on tomorrow night around 10 p.m., maybe a little bit later, because I'll be out driving. So it might be on a little bit later. It's going to fluctuate midweek if I'm out doing the driving and stuff. On Thursday night, I'll be probably on around 10 because I got an early screening of Borat 2 that night. It's all digital, but I'm going to watch Borat 2 and review that, and then I'll probably come on and do this afterwards. So, all right, guys, I thank you very much. Be tough. See, I love this. Your movie man here is like, be tougher, be tougher. It's just, it's not that you necessarily need to be tougher, right? It's just you have to listen to what people are actually saying and then counter it. It's not even a big issue. And I'm fine with it, so it's all good. Kino here says, I like it better when Matt streams earlier. I know. All right, I was on at 10. It's the earliest I can get on. Unfortunately, I'll be honest with you. I'll just say it. If I didn't have to go out and do driving, then I could be on earlier, and that means I need to make more money. If I make more money, then I have to go out and do driving, and I could be on earlier. That's just the reality of it. That's just the reality. So, but we're not there, and that's okay. That's fine. This is still fun. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys again for coming on in. If you haven't already, hit that like button if you want. Hit that dislike button if you want. That's all good too. And please be safe out there. All right, guys. Have a good one and peace out.